We get to start a Week 9 Saturday in the Atlantic Coast Conference with the South's oldest rivalry. We welcome you to ACC Network Football presented by Dr. Pepper in the 130th meeting between the Tar Heels of North Carolina, who return home to Chapel Hill after a disappointing loss last Friday night in Berkeley, and Bill Belichick's Tar Heels take the field here at home with a mark of 2-4 and winless in their 2 league games. Meanwhile, one of the Cinderella stories is being written in college football. In Tony Elliott's 4th season in Charlottesville, the Cavaliers are 16th in the country. And ACC Network Football is presented for you today by Dr. Pepper. A beautiful Saturday, this final Saturday in October. And as we get Week 9 underway in earnest after last night's Virginia Tech double overtime win against Cal, you see Georgia Tech, the Cavaliers at 3-0, and SMU, who's playing in Winston-Salem at this hour, also 3-0. We are tight as we get to November. We welcome you upstairs. Great to be with Steve Addazio, Dana Boyle in just a moment, Wes Durham. The old adage you coaches always say, they remember November.
They certainly remember November, and there's some great football being played in November, and today's game will be another one of those great football Saturdays.
Well, and these two have a knack for putting together classics here in recent years. But Virginia's story, well, it's probably been a little tight, but nonetheless successful. You know, the double overtime win against Florida State, then a week later, Jamari Taylor scores to win at Louisville, and then last Saturday night, they come from behind. Cam Robinson makes the hit on the safety, and Tony Elliott didn't necessarily want the Gatorade, but Virginia will take the win to go to 6-1. And Steve, a central figure in this season is the Wahoo's quarterback, Chandler Morris.
Chandler is a guy who has it. He's got moxie. As the coaches say, he's confident but not arrogant, and he will rise the boats up with high tide in this football program. He's the real deal.
He is one of the best performing quarterbacks statistically in the ACC. And Dana, we're finding out that Tony Elliott has got a lot on the line as this Virginia team goes down the stretch.
That's right, Wes, and it's why he challenged his team to stay focused on the little things this week. He said, we can't eat the rat poisoning, and honestly, we've won nothing yet. He was really disappointed in the body language, lack of urgency in their come-from-behind win against Washington State, saying we were jogging off the field, we weren't focused on the details. We have to remain the aggressor. Now, bear with me here. He also said you can't win football games if you're not flushing the toilet. Now, strategically, Tony Elliott's the last one out of the locker room, whether it's a game, practice, home, or away. He checks to see if the toilets are flushed. He said, if you can't flush the toilet yourself or flush it for your teammate, how are you going to die for your brother on 4th and 1? So it's the little things that lead to the big things. I don't even want to know if you guys flushed the toilet before you came on air today, Wes and Steve.
Dana, thank you. Virginia won the toss. They've elected to defer. We're going to get to see Carolina on offense first. And, of course, the first-year head coach of the Tar Heels is now a finalist for the Professional Football Hall of Fame, just announced this week. Bill Belichick in his first season, of course, 24 years as the Patriots head coach. It's been bumpy. Carolina's lost 4 of their last 5 ACC home games. They've lost 7 of their last 9 games, period, and 11 of 16. There is no return by the Tar Heels. There is a flag down.
Kicking team.
The ball got kicked
at the 35-yard line.
out of bounds by Virginia. So here is Gio Lopez out of Madison, Alabama, and the transfer from South Alabama who'll take the wheel. But first, let's look at Steve's dudes here on offense for the Tar Heels and on defense for Virginia, Coach.
Yeah, well, on offense for the Tar Heels, Benjamin Hall, a guy that Bill Belichick himself said, Steve, you're really going to like this guy. This guy is tough. He's hard-nosed. He loves football. And I think he's a guy that you got to watch here today. That running game's got to get going. Then, of course, on defense, Cam Robinson, who's a tremendous linebacker, back healthy, and an impact player for Virginia.
Damon June, the running back, with Lopez, who wants to throw here on first down and throws it out of bounds. Shenard Clower was the closest Tar Heel in the pass game. And on second down, here comes a change in the running back spot. They're going to bring Jalen McGill into the lineup and take June out. So we'll get McGill now. He'll go out here to the near side with 2 other receivers. And you see it's a 5-wide package here for Carolina. Lopez from the gun looking. He'll shoot it out in the flat. And caught falling down at the 39-yard line. Christian Charles makes the tackle, and that's Madrid Tucker, who's playing for the first time this year. 5'10", 170, and a freshman from Lehigh Acres, Florida.
Well, I'll tell you, Wes, that was a nice throw there by Gio. That was a good opportunity to get the ball into the flat with a crisp pass and put them in a more manageable third down, which gives them a chance here to be able to keep the chains moving.
You see the differential in Virginia's defense and Carolina's offense when it comes to third down. Lopez trying to make a throw. Now he'll be flush from the pocket to his right, wants to sail it. It's caught. There's a marker down on the play as Kobe Paysour backs out of bounds at the Cavalier 44-yard line. But a flag behind the play in the Carolina backfield.
Oh, the 10-yard penalty. Third down.
So the referee today is Daryl DeBerry. Austin Blaschke, the left tackle, guilty of the hold here.
You got a little twist on that hold play right there, just a little bit of a twist, and he grabs him. He gets beat inside. They set the pick. That's a beautiful job by Virginia to be able to create that pressure, but you have to appreciate the movement by Gio getting on the perimeter and making a play. Unfortunately, back with a penalty.
That is Rickert, the outstanding transfer from Tennessee Tech, who's had quite an impact on this Virginia defensive front. Here's Lopez on the 3rd and long now after the penalty. Back across the middle, McGill the catch. Working his way to the 35. He'll be well short of the first down. Tackled by Christian Charles. He was the hero in overtime against Florida State, who sealed it with the interception. Carolina's going to go 3 and out on their first possession. Tom McGinnis on to punt. And Jaden Thomas is the punt returner for the Cavaliers. Remember, Cam Ross is injured, not with the team. And Ross had been off to a terrific start when it came to special teams in particular. And Thomas will signal for and make the fair catch just ahead of the 25-yard line. And now, Steve, we get a look at this young man from Highland Park, Texas, Chandler Morris, writing quite a story for Tony Elliott in season 4 in Charlottesville for the coach.
He's a special player. He can run, he can throw, he's got eyes down the field, but he's a leader, and he's the heartthrob of this team. So I really like the season he's having, and this guy, every time I watch him, it's exciting.
So Morris with Jamari Taylor in the backfield. Remember, they do get Noah Vaughn back today as well. Here's Morris, thought about it, and now going to be sacked. C.J. Mims, the pressure, and dumps Morris. Transfer from East Carolina. It's a 6-yard loss. Only the 6th sack of the year allowed by Virginia.
Yeah, you know, you see number 60, Drake Metcalf, get walked back into his lap. Now, he should have let the ball go. He didn't. He stopped the throwing motion for a second, and then he got swallowed up. That's a little uncharacteristic for Chandler Morris.
Wahoo's behind the stick early here. 2nd down and long. Trying to hand it to Taylor. Jamari Taylor made a couple of guys miss, and he'll fight for a couple of yards. But that's about it. Marcus Allen and Will Hardy on the arrival from the Carolina secondary to make the stop. So now it's 3rd and long for Virginia. The Cavaliers have not scored on their opening drive since Stanford 5 ball games ago. And they're 3rd and 14 on their opening drive here, and you see they're 51% on 3rd down, which is 2nd best in the ACC, 15th nationally.
Well, statistically, they don't have a great shot here, but with this quarterback, he stays alive and he extends plays. You never know what's going to happen here.
Tar Heels are going to rush 4. Morris dumps it to Taylor here at the near side. And he'll go out of bounds around the 28-yard line, and Marcus Allen forced him out. And Virginia goes 3 and out. So they exchange 3 and outs. Do these two schools here early. And Carolina trying to at least build on some of the momentum that helped them last Friday night in Berkeley against the Golden Bears.
I like that defensive series for Carolina. I like their defensive front is active. They're twisting. They're attacking the protection of Virginia. So that was a really good series. They're going to exchange blows here a little bit until each offense gets their footing and see how this thing rolls.
Terrific punt by Sparks. Here's Will Hardy on the return. He'll get a couple of yards, and that will be it. 52-yard punt by Sparks. We are underway in Chapel Hill. No score yet with the Wahoos and Tar Heels.
The quarterback for UNC is the first lefty that Bill Belichick has ever had on a roster, but Gio Lopez also hasn't had much luck in the health department, Stephen West, this season since arriving in Chapel Hill, from the car accident to his injury suffered in the season opener against UNC. He told me this week he finally feels like he's back to himself and he's the healthiest he's been.
Well, they're emptying everything out for him, Dana, as we start possession 2 for the Tar Heels, and Lopez wants to throw from a crowded pocket across the middle. That's Paysour, and a first down for the Tar Heels. Pretty sharp throw to the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the throw, and shaken up on the play is Ethan Mentor, who had a half dozen stops in the Florida State game. And boy, you see Mentor go right to the ground as he collides with Paysour on the stop here.
I really liked what Gio did there. You know, he was able to deliver that ball across the middle in a square in route, but and he really didn't get his feet set. He kind of threw off his back foot a little bit, but he hung in there. You can see the strength of his arm. He has a powerful arm.
We're going to step aside. They tend to young Ethan Mentor. No score here in Chapel Hill. thumbs up, and I think that's on Ethan Mentor's status. So good news for the Virginia safety who was shaken up a moment ago. Virginia's worked their way to the number 16 in the country, and in some ways you start to wonder, is this a team of destiny? 6-1, 3-0 in the league, averaging 40 points a game. Here's the remaining schedule after today. No conference losses. You'd think the tarot card for Charlotte might be in play, and Steve, even the orange one that gets you to the ticket to the field of 16, huh?
It's all there. It's all there. They're in charge of what they do, but that path is never easy.
Yeah, Damon June starts as the Tar Heel back on the 1st and 10 play as we resume action here for you. You see, highest ranking Virginia's had in 18 years as they start play here today. Here's June trying to get started, dances through traffic, and he'll grind out 5, maybe 6 on the play. Good hard running by Damon June. Okay, you said at the top, this is the guy Bill Belichick feels like as a true freshman may have kind of the toolbox to be good here, huh, at this spot?
You can see it when you watch that run right there. I mean, his legs were turning. He was breaking tackles. That was a determined run.
There's a quick shot throw here to the near side, and that's Laycock, the Tennessee transfer out of Roseville, North Carolina, making the catch.
You know, this is what Coach Belichick talked about, you know, with Gio Lopez. What he does great are the RPOs. Yep. And that was an RPO right there. And you can tell he's a quick decision maker with that RPO. It's a one-read deal.
Nathan Leacock, transfer from Tennessee, only played 1 game there in 2 seasons. Redshirted a year ago. He spent the spring at Purdue and then elected to hop in the portal again post-spring, which is not going to be available next year. Here's Lopez again, looking to throw on a 1st and 10. Pressure coming, hit as he does, and it's caught! Going out of bounds, Jordan Schimpf, and another Carolina first down.
Really nice
Lopez
throw.
took a shot here, Steve.
Yeah, he took a shot off of play action here. They're selling that insert zone play, and he takes a hit, but I like the ball that he delivers. You know, Billy Kudelka is just, you know, really hit him hard right there, but he stood in there, and that's a good sign. Big explosive play, and North Carolina's lacked those explosive plays. There's one right there.
Carolina 88th nationally in red zone opportunities at 81%. Only 9 touchdowns and 16 trips. Here's the give, and this is June trying to get cranked up. He'll pedal for 5, maybe 6 on the play. Devin Neal, who leads Virginia in tackles, makes the stop from the Cavaliers secondary.
That's the truck play, and that's where you're pulling the offensive line and you're trying to block down, 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 get a lineman out, get on the perimeter with the toss sweep, and they're back. I mean, they're running hard right now. They're picking up where they left off against Cal with the run game right now, and that's what they need to do.
2-by-2 look here for Carolina on 2nd down. Lopez again opens up the field on the crossing route. This is Paysour trying to hit the pylon, reaches over, and it is out of bounds. Costner got to him right before he hit the pylon at the far side. It's going to be 1st and goal for Carolina at the Virginia 1. Wow.
They're going to, I'm surprised they're not reviewing that, because to me, I thought that might have been a touchdown. Of course, my percentage hasn't been great, but that's what I think.
The ruling on the field, the runner being short of the touchdown is up the review.
So referee DeBerry, you know, the old guy used to broadcast here, used to say that you can get a man to the moon, but you can't get the rest, Mike, to work at Kenan Stadium. Darryl DeBerry going to go for review here. We do not have access to the Game Day Operations Center in Charlotte. Question might be, speculation here on my part, Steve, was he out of bounds before the ball was reached to the pylon? Hard to tell. We haven't seen a view that, oh, I don't know.
I don't know. That's close. I think that's a touchdown, at least by the angles we're watching, but the beautiful thing is they probably have a couple more angles.
Kobe Paysour, who had 6 catches for 101 the other night in Berkeley.
Yeah, I got to think that's a touchdown.
Yeah, called out of bounds on the field. They might reverse this. They might be also checking whether or not the ball was in possession when he hit the pylon, because you see the ball does come out after the pylon is touched.
Yeah.
So we'll get the full dissertation here in just a moment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That angle right there, boy. That ball.
That's a tough one there now because the ball might be coming out of his hand before it hits the pylon.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. Now, did it cross the goal line? Boy, that ball's coming out, guys.
Now remember, if you followed us throughout the fall, and you know when we do have access to the Operations Center, you see the big screen where they can mirror the angles and sync everything up, if you will. And they're looking at the same angle we just showed you a moment ago. We just don't hear the communication today from Uptown Charlotte. Now I think, Steve, we're coming back to the possession of the football as it hits the pylon.
Yeah, this will be an interesting call here.
Well, what a momentum build this would be for Carolina.
I mean, I tell you, you feel the energy the way they're playing right now. They're playing fast and confidently. You know, they hit that crossing route right there, and he did a nice job of bursting to the end zone and putting us in this replay.
So here's referee DeBerry.
After further review, the runner lost control of the ball. The ball touched the goal line pylon. The result of the play is a touchback. First down, Virginia.
That's why Coach Adazio was worried a moment ago.
Yeah, I was afraid to even say that, but I got to tell you, that's like that rule right there. That's a tough one, right? You're talking about you're getting ready to score a touchdown. And last week to end the game, this happened to Carolina. You watch it against Cal here, and they complete a crossing route, and he's trying to get to the end zone. The ball comes out, which reverses in a touchback. And here we go again. So here you are, marching down to score, all the momentum. Boom! Virginia's ball coming out. Wow, tough to swallow that.
So fumble by Carolina with 8:25 to go here in the first. Cavaliers don't give up a touchdown and get their second possession off the 20 started. First down, here's Jamari Taylor picking up 5. So Carolina, last possession last Friday night, second possession today. Now the ball got punched out by Cal going into the end zone on the hands of Nathan Leacock. Here today, it's fumbled, and there's a throw out of the backfield, and that is Taylor taking a shot from Andrew Simpson, the linebacker, after a gain of maybe 1. Boy, Simpson really put a lick on here.
Simpson had a very confident tackle here and put a lick on him, and what a really good defensive play here, you know, and it puts him in a 3rd and 4. So this is a big down for North Carolina. They got to recapture momentum. They had it, they lost it. They can get it back again here with a good stop.
In motion goes Trell Harris. Here's the throw to Harris. He'll try and circle and gets the first down. Pushed out of bounds on the far side. That's Kamari House.
You know, it's really tough when you get Chandler Morris on the perimeter like that, you know, especially in a 3rd and 4, right? You got to make a decision on defense. Hey, this guy can run for this first down. And then if you don't come up, or you do come up, then he's going to dump the ball on you right there. So it's a tough deal. Good play. Good first down for Virginia. They needed a little bit of a confidence builder. Back to work here.
1st and 10 for Chandler Morris and the Wahoos. And a play fake here. Morris wants to look. Downfield shot, and that is caught. And out of bounds again goes Harris. So Trell Harris without Cam Ross in the lineup here. 24 yards this time, Steve.
Well, what they do right now is they flood the sideline. That means they're putting the receivers against the sideline, layering those DBs, and finding the fat in the zone against the sideline. Nicely done. Good throw, good route.
Taylor out. Harrison Whaley appears for the first time now. Grad transfer from Wyoming. A very, very fine backup. He's got 253 yards and a 7-yard average. There's another quick throw. That ball got dropped by Harris. Throw might have been a little low off the arm of Morris. And a flag has gone down.
Well, you had 2 defenders coming off the field late here. But was there a personnel change?
And Darryl DeBerry.
More than 11 players at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Down.
Illegal substitution here. See the 2 guys coming off for Carolina. Isaiah Johnson, one of them, along with DeAndre Robinson.
Obviously, I have to assume that Virginia did not substitute. And because if they did substitute, then I don't understand that call.
Right.
And maybe that's what Coach Belichick's so upset about. I don't know.
1st and 5. Here's Morris across the middle, and a catch by Ennis, the tight end. Virginia plays without Dakota Twitty, who had 11 catches on the year coming in. But boy, Sage Ennis, that's 21 yards and a heck of a catch. And the Cavaliers are on the hop at the Carolina 24 here. And Morris ready to go from the pocket. Back foot throw. Tried to dial Ennis again and got tied up in traffic, battling with Gavin Gibson, the safety.
I'm going to tell you what right now. North Carolina's getting a lot of movement up front. They're knocking Virginia's offensive line back. So you're getting these off-base throws by Chandler Morris. And they're continuing to put pressure on this quarterback.
But Steve, that pressure up front, can Virginia get off platform? They're a pretty good team when they break form a little bit sometimes, right?
Yes, yes, yes. They might have to move the pocket here a little bit more.
Tight end 3 receivers for Morris. Pistol set here on 2nd and 10. Going to hand the ball to Whaley here. And Harrison Whaley will pick up right at about 4, almost 5 on the play. It'll be a red zone snap. House and Mims the stop.
It's probably their best run play. They run the wide zone, the stretch play, and they're able to get their bodies to cover defenders up and then let that back make that vertical upcut. You saw that on that play. I would say that's their best run play. But now we go into 3rd down here, and it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. They've got to be able to convert this to, to stay positive in the red zone here and get touchdowns, not field goals. So this is a big down here. They've got to get a strong 6 yards. And you can see they're putting 3 receivers in the field. Maybe they're going to run some sort of flood concept.
And a pistol set again. They're going to hand it to Taylor. Here's Jamari Taylor trying to squeeze something up the middle, and he only gets a yard or 2. Will Hardy, senior safety from Lawrenceville, Georgia, on the stop. He had 7 tackles last Friday night in the loss at Cal. And Virginia's going to ask Bettridge to try and cover the rest here.
Wes, that confuses me right now. I'm confused on that. I'm confused you're going to run a stretch play on 3rd and 6 without a mindset to go run, take another shot on 4th down. To run that play to get 6 yards out of a stretch play and then come out and kick a field goal, that does not make great sense to me.
34-yard try for Bettridge. Middle of the field kick here for Virginia to try and get on the board first. And right down the seam for Will Bettridge. So his 12th field goal of the year in 15 tries. Cavaliers are on the board first. 3-0 in Chapel Hill.
ACC Network College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing.
In Chapel Hill, we welcome you to Week 9. On this Saturday, you're watching the ACC on ESPN, and we're at Kenan Stadium for the 130th meeting of Virginia and Carolina. They played twice in about a 34-day span in 1892. Cavaliers won the first meeting 30-18 in Charlottesville, and Carolina won the second one in Atlanta, believe it or not, in 1892, 26-0. And Jalen McGill tackled on the kickoff. Carolina will start its third possession off the 15. This is, in the FBS history books, the second oldest rivalry. Only the Floyd of Rosedale, Steve, would be at the top of the card. The 130th meeting, tied for the second most with Auburn and Georgia. That's the Deep South's oldest rivalry, Steve, not the South's oldest rivalry. They played every year since 1919, of course, a hiatus for World War II. You see Virginia's record when ranked playing unranked Carolina, 4-4-1.
Wow, that's a lot of good history right there.
Benjamin Hall into the ball game. Tar Heels off their 15. And Hall going to get the carry and push it out for about 3 yards before James Jackson, who was a hero here 2 years ago. And Tony Elliott's big win here over number 10 North Carolina a couple seasons ago. This rivalry also produces that. You know, in fact, how about James Jackson? Drake May late in the game. Carolina needs a score. Took it off his shoe tops. Preserves the Cavalier win. 31-27. How about that? Almost to the day for the Cavaliers. Here's Lopez on second down now. And Hall trying to bend it back into traffic. It'll be third down. Dana?
Just an update on the Virginia sidelines. Ethan Minter went into the locker room. He got x-rays on his left shoulder. He's back out on the sidelines. They have not given his helmet back to him. His status to return is undetermined. I'll keep you guys posted when I learn more.
All right, Christian Charles has filled that gap. We've also seen Corey Costner play a little bit in that free safety spur position. Davion Goss has come in to the ball game now. Steve, we have already seen this is the fourth Carolina running back in 3 possessions for Bill Belichick. Lopez back foot throw, crossing route, and a flag down and the catch, and that's Madrid Tucker on the grab. He's going to be short of the first down. Daniel Rickert on the cover for Virginia, and already Antonio Clary is signaling that the penalty is on Carolina. And I think Virginia's going to decline this.
Offense number 86. The penalties decline. 4th down.
So it's 3 and out for the Tar Heel offense.
Yeah, that's not good, not productive. You saw right there that Virginia was bringing pressure too. They brought 5, which put him in man coverage, but they want to try to get Gio Lopez off his mark and make him uncomfortable. So I look to see a little bit more pressure start to stoke up here by Virginia.
So here's McGinnis to punt it away to Jaden Thomas, the Notre Dame transfer. Wow, Thomas has to reach back, flag that down like he's playing deep short. And he'll cross the 35 to the 37. It's a 46-yard punt. And so the Cavaliers will get it back with a 3-0 lead. Don't forget, a full Saturday of ACC Network football. Next stop, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. NC State off a bye week. And Pitt after the win at Syracuse. 5-2 overall, 3-1 in the league. And then it's off to Louisville. ACC Primetime presented by ServPro tonight. Boston College visits number 19 Louisville. Excited to see what the Cards can do following up the win at Miami.
At home at night.
Yeah.
Tough deal, tough venue to go in and play at.
Off the 37, here's Jamari Taylor trying to get to the near side. And a terrific play, and that is Tyler Thompson, who had a sensational ball game last Friday night in Berkeley. Steve, with 2 sacks and 2 behind the line and a forced fumble. Thompson's really coming into his own here in the last couple weeks.
Well, he defeated the block, and he made a play on that stretch play. It was really good defense.
Morris, quick snap off the 37 and guns that by Cameron Courtney. Incomplete.
I can tell you what now, Wes, what I've seen on film, this North Carolina defense is getting better every week. And what I like about them is they play with really good fundamentals. That defensive line is playing with good fundamentals. They defeat blocks, get off blocks. Those are the things that are going to continue to allow them to improve week to week.
So 3rd down in the full 10 for Morris and the Cavaliers. That's Harris in motion and a reset to the slot. Pressure coming. Morris in the pocket. Now wants to throw. Going to throw it on the perimeter. A flag is thrown. The catch is made out there. And that was Jaden Thomas on the grab, but I think Virginia's going to be ticketed for a hold here.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm not sure who they're going to get with this.
The right side of the Cavalier offensive line, I think. Referee DeBerry.
Holding. Offense number 76. That penalty's declined. Fourth down.
Brady Wilson, who's returning to the lineup today for Tony Elliott. He had missed the last 3 games after being injured against Stanford. And he is guilty of the hold up the middle.
Yeah, I don't like that call. I don't like that call at all. I'm just in time. I mean, I know that's the line coaching me right now.
Sure.
But I mean, he's playing aggressive football and he's driving through the play. I don't know about that.
So here is the punt for Sparks. Will Hardy deep to receive. And there's a flag thrown. Hardy tried to field it at the 10. Things got almost unbuckled there. And let's see what happens here. Tony Elliott, a couple steps off the Virginia bench, a little frustrated.
Yeah, that's not a roughing the kicker. That's come from the line of scrimmage. It's an offsides penalty, I think.
Mm-hmm. And referee DeBerry, I think, is communicating with his crew at the Carolina bench, trying to just
Illegal formation. Kicking team. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
They're going to re-kick it off the penalty.
Yeah, they're too deep. Yeah, they're too deep. You see the people up front. They've got to break the hip of the center, the so-called guard tackle. When you're looking at the box right here, and they are not breaking. Their helmet's not all breaking. They're too far back. I'm sure Coach Belichick saw that on tape and pointed that out to them, because that's usually something what happens pre-game. You say, hey, watch their punt team, and forces them. Now they went after that kick. That was a nice aggressive block they had on too.
Right. So here's Sparks again, punting it away. 3rd punt return of the year for Javarius Green, and he got hit immediately at the 15-yard line. So no return by Green of a 48-yard punt by Sparks. And Virginia still has a 3-0 lead. Ooh.
Yeah, that's when your gunner controls out there are not doing a good enough job blocking, and you can't have that. You got to give the guy a chance to catch the ball and get a start on a play. Those can result in fumbles.
You see Carolina's first 3 drives. The big one is the fumble at the pylon by Kobe Paysord going in on 2nd effort. And Lopez trying to recapture it here on the 4th drive of the day for the Heels. Again from the pocket. Spins it to the 20. Catch is made, and that's Jordan Shipp.
Talking to Coach Belichick, they wanted to be in that empty formation. And the reason they want to be an empty is because it unwinds the pressures of the defense more. Gives the quarterback a cleaner, better picture of what might be coming from where. So he can play throw and catch a little bit easier here. And that's what you saw. A nice pickup of 5 yards, putting them in a real good manageable second where they can run the ball here and get a first down or pick up another 4 yards. That'll be good football.
Benjamin Hall is the running back here. They're going to hand the ball to Hall, trying to get to the perimeter, and the Cavaliers swallow that up after a yard. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 4. Prevard, the transfer from Morgan State, who's got 3 interceptions, and K-Mac, the defensive end, the stop for Virginia. Carolina turns it over. McGill comes in. They bring Clower back into the ball game.
Well, what happens, Wes? Now they're still on schedule, but that run kind of, to me, got them off schedule. And I don't think that was a great cut by the back. I thought there was a little bit more in there, but now they've got to convert this 3rd and medium back in empty formation again.
Shamar Easter, another wide receiver's come in the game. Lopez looking here to the wide side and ship the catch. He'll spin as we go inside of a minute in this first period of play. And the Tar Heels pick up the third down.
I got to tell you, sorry, Wes, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just a little bit surprised that they brought 3-man rush on that play. You know what I mean? On a 3rd and 4 right there. And they just allowed them to play pitch and catch right there. I don't know. That didn't feel good to me.
Bill Belichick's got Gio Lopez off to a 9 of 10 start for 90 yards today. 1st and 10 out at the 28. Lopez from the pocket again to his left. Downfield throw intended for Easter and incomplete. Crowd wants pass interference on Prevard. There is no flag.
What I'd like to see on that, on the replay, there is contact when that ball's in the air right there. He's got him hooked a little bit. I understand what the crowd's looking at here, but I think walking that back a little bit, though, I was surprised that Gio didn't run for that first down. He had a wide open lane. Just go get the first down. That used to frustrate me. Get first downs, move the chains, get yards. It doesn't have to be thrown down the field.
Tar Heels again go 3 to the field, 2 to the boundary. Could be the final play of the first. Lopez hit as he throws. It is caught by Shipp. There's a flag thrown. We've got flags at 2 different places here on the field, but I think they're going to get Anthony Britton for taking the quarterback to the ground. On the final play of the quarter.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Yep.
Defense. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
So we're going to go to quarter 2 here in Chapel Hill, and Carolina's going to have the ball at midfield.
Well, I tell you what, they're North Carolina got the penalty. That's lucky for them, but throwing that ball like he did,
3-0 Virginia. Quarter 2, and Tony Elliott with Dana next.
Welcome back to Chapel Hill. I'm joined now by head football coach Tony Elliott. Coach, the start of this game looks eerily similar to that Washington State game. What has your attention as we move to the second quarter?
Oh, well, you know, defense has got some stops, right? We took advantage of a turnover. We got points off a turnover, right? Offense is moving the ball. Hey, they came to play, and this is a good team that's getting better. And I'm excited. I like where the defense is. We're going to get settled in on offense, and we'll be just fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tar Heels have the ball midfield after the penalty. First down. We go to quarter 2 and a 3-0 Virginia lead. And Davion Goss off a play fake. Here's Lopez looking to throw, looking deep shot, and well overthrown. Paysour was there. Easter was there. But that ball was 10 yards over their head, respectively. And 5 yards from the nearest Cavalier.
Yeah, you're taking a shot on play action, but there was nobody open. You probably good thing that it's overthrown there because there's a lot of coverage there. So you took your shot. Now you wind up on second down. You got to get half of this right now on second down. Put yourself in a manageable.
Lopez coming off his best first quarter of the year. 83% on 10 of 12. 97 yards. Second down in the full 10. And Lopez hit as he throws. Try to go to Jake Johnson here on the perimeter. They're going to get another flag here. This is going to be on Mitchell Melton, I think, for a hit on Gio Lopez. So, referee DeBerry.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 17. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So 3 penalties on Virginia. And Tony Elliott thinks that might have been a little nickel dime here.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tony. Maybe because it was hands to the face mask. I think that's what got him there more than anything else. But they ran an RPO on that play, and the run was wide open, but he decided to throw that. Now they're going to get this 15 yards through a penalty. Put him in a nice first down situation here with good field position.
Coach, they're going 2 tights. Look at this, unbalanced all the way out. Bracketing the lineman. Now play fake to June. Lopez wants to throw. Back to June, but trying to square away from some pursuit and has a hard time doing it. Britton got him on the ground with Jordan Robinson.
Yeah, that was some nice running there by Damon June. I mean, he showed a little spin move out there because there was nothing there. But at the end of the day, you know, he got a few.
Freddie Kitchen's been playing in the sand drawing plays, huh?
They're trying to hit that vertical route down the field. It wasn't open. He had to dump it down.
Connor Cox has come in, South Carolina transfer. He's a tight end in the lineup, so they go kind of 2 tights and 1 back. A lot of packaging in the Tar Heel offense for Lopez, who's under center. They're going to hand it to June and tries to get to the perimeter. Be taken down around the 32, and here's another flag. There's a flag thrown at the tackle in front of the Virginia bench. And Tony Elliott turning and talking to his players here. Virginia's penalties have all been big ticket.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 93.
Wow.
15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And in a Steve, for the most part, in scouting Virginia, yeah, they have some unforced errors, but on the whole, a more disciplined team than others. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, well
Not
coached.
right now, though.
No. Yeah. Oh, that's a legitimate penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch the replay, that's just not good. And I know he's trying to play hard. Listen, I love guys that want to play hard.
Right.
But you can't play foolish. And so what's happening is these unforced errors right now are giving a lot of life to North Carolina and giving them an opportunity to have a good red zone shot here.
Red zone opportunity on Virginia's 4th penalty now for Gio Lopez in Carolina. June the back. They'll hand it to him, and Damon June is tripped up shy of the 15-yard line. Connor Cox was out there trying to block, and I don't think he got much leverage at all.
Yeah, they're running that counter, trying to run that counter gap scheme. And, you know, that's a quiet gain of close to 3.5, 4 yards. Stay on schedule. I like what North Carolina is trying to do right now. We're in empty to throw the ball. They're running the ball. They got a good flow, a good mix. Got to stay here on schedule, put them in a 3rd and manageable, if not a first down.
10th play of the drive for the Tar Heels. 2nd down, 7 to go. 2 minutes gone in this 2nd quarter of play. Here's Lopez buying time. Now going to step up in the pocket, and he gets hit. Maybe a yard on the play. And Virginia's trying to get set defensively. Cam Robinson, who was the hero last Saturday night against Washington State, gets Lopez on the ground here.
You know, he has a pretty good pocket, really. He just needs to step up and throw it or run it and probably be a little bit more decisive. He kind of hung and pumped and pumped and pumped and let the defense track him down in pursuit. Now they're in a real 3rd and long, not where you want to be. So they're going to come out and empty again to unwind, see the pressure. If there's pressure, unwind it.
Lopez tries to keep it. Virginia there on the pursuit. Terrific play. Maddox Marcellus, transfer from Eastern Kentucky out of Miami, Florida, who had 6 tackles at Louisville. Steve, stayed home and makes a great stop.
Yeah, that's a really good tackle, strong tackle. I'm not sure if that was a called QB draw. I mean, he put his foot in the ground and took off like it was quickly. But you know, that's a long way to go, 3rd and 8 for that. You know, so maybe in their minds they're saying, we'll get better position and try to settle for a field goal if they can make this here.
Reese Burhoff to try and tie the game. The kick is away, and it's good. So a pair of 34-yarders is all we've got with 11.5 minutes to go. Opening frame in Chapel Hill. Time Virginia was ranked and had a meeting with Carolina was 20 years ago, and the results were interesting. The Tar Heels scored the game's only touchdown. That's Matt Baker to Ricky Cook. And they beat the 23rd ranked Cavaliers in a Steve Addazio special, Dana, 7-5.
Steve Addazio special. That means great defense.
Ricky Cook's only career touchdown, by the way. Matt Baker, by the way, NFL assistant Matt Baker now. Lineage of Carolina players. Just part of the South's oldest rivalry. Floyd of Rosedale's the only one they've played for.
Well, Steve Addazio special also means, guys, offensive line play.
That's it. Yeah.
Come on now, don't forget about that, Wes.
Thanks, Dana. I know that. I know, but I do like big fullbacks too.
Yeah,
that
Ricky
was
Cook would have been.
I mean, that was a big fullback. He looked like a defensive lineman.
Yeah, Ricky Cook would have been your guy. Matt Baker, very efficient, steady at quarterback, right?
Yeah,
that'd have been your guy. Yeah,
not bad.
Not bad. 3-3 game. We play on here in quarter 2. with 3.5 gone. And this is Jamari Taylor trying to get warmed up. He'll get 3, almost 4 on first down. But you got to admit, by the way, Bayer making the stop at linebacker. 7-5. Now that's your wheelhouse, man. Come on, that's your game.
Well, when you can play great defense, you're in every game, right? They don't score, they don't win. So there was minimal score. And then, of course, on offense, if you can control the clock and the ball, that's beat him in the fourth quarter. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be embarrassed by that.
Yeah, Taylor will push.
A win's a win.
Yeah. 3rd and 3 coming up. Here's the interesting thing of our visit yesterday with Bill Belichick. The massive improvement this football team has made from certainly August to kickoff, and then from the TCU game to now. He could not talk more about what he sees from an improvement standpoint in just about every level of the football team, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of muscle mass they've gained, the amount of body fat they've dropped, their performance, their endurance, their conditioning, the practice, incredible, really.
Yeah. 3rd down and 3. That's Trell Harris in motion. Morris in trouble and sack. Isaiah Johnson. Big redshirt junior transfer from Arizona with his first sack of the year, and Carolina has now gotten to the Virginia quarterback twice. The Cavaliers had only given up 5 sacks all year.
3-man rush, one-on-one with the center. Brady Wilson beats him with a lot of shake and a lot of bake, and he's in the backfield for a big sack. Man, he looked quick and twitchy on that play. That was only a 3-man rush.
Carolina has gotten Virginia to 3 and out in 3 of their first 4 possessions. Wobbly punt headed toward Will Hardy at the 35. And it'll be a fair catch, and that's where Carolina will start the 3-3 game. Don't forget, we got a full day of ACC football. But tonight, after Louisville and Boston College wrap it up in Derby City, Kelsey Riggs Cup, Mark Rick, Dave Clawson in studio, Tom Luganbill, ACC Huddle final score after the games tonight, highlights, analysis, and a look at the full day on ACC Saturday number 9 in this fall campaign.
Dave Clawson, such a sharp guy. I really enjoyed, the head coach's meetings with him. He's very thoughtful. He's got great insight into the game and great looking forward. A great ambassador to football and a heck of a football coach.
Yeah, great to have all you guys that coached in this league on the ACC Network team. 4-man front for Virginia. Lopez off to a terrific start today. Throws it beyond the reach of Shipp, who had Prevard in coverage for Virginia.
Trying to get the ball out quick. They brought a 5-man rush that time, Virginia did. So, he was trying to get it out, just was off the mark. And, of course, I hate these longs, man. 2nd and long, 3rd and long. You like first down to be a very efficient down where you get 4 to 5 yards at a minimum and you're always on schedule instead of playing from behind the chains.
2nd down, the full 10. Shipp resets here at the bottom of your screen. Lopez looks that way. Ball got deflected and incomplete. And Virginia got back there. Melton again. Cavaliers are getting to Gio Lopez, but Steve, to your point about Chandler Morris, Lopez is getting the ball out just a heartbeat before it seems Morris does, where he's gotten himself sacked a couple times. Lopez is cutting it loose just ahead of the pressure.
He is, but Virginia is getting good pressure. That time they had another 5-man rush, and they're knocking back the line a little bit at times here and creating pocket problems for Gio.
So here's Goss in the backfield on 3rd and the full 10. Lopez trying to get it to Shipp, middle of the field, and Jordan Shipp will be taken down 2.5 yards shy of the sticks.
See how smooth he looks?
On again. Yeah, Jordan Shipp looked really good.
I mean, he caught that in stride. He was gliding with that ball. He's not little now.
Yep.
I mean, he's a 6'2", 190-pounder. I mean, he's got some size, but he's a smooth-looking athlete. They need to find the ability to get the ball to him.
Yeah, I had a chance to visit with him for a few minutes yesterday during our visit here in Chapel Hill. What a terrific kid. Sophomore from Providence Day in Charlotte is Jordan Shipp. End over end punt by McGinnis. And Thomas trying to make a play on the punt return. Here's Thomas up the far side. 25-30, stays in bounds. finally tackled out of bounds near the 40-yard line of Virginia. Terrific effort by Thomas trying to offset the loss of Cam Ross in the return game. Virginia gets a good place to start. 3-3 game. Chandler Morris and the Cavaliers trying to find some momentum offensively when we come back to Chapel Hill.
On that last punt by North Carolina, Virginia special teams did a great job here. If you watch this, they're going to build a wall on Virginia's left side and head to the sideline. There they are. They're staggered 5 yards apart, building the wall, capturing North Carolina inside the wall, and they're going to go up the sideline. Tony Elliott coaches the special teams, and that's the head coach involvement right there. What a nice scheme. Nice job.
Virginia's best starting spot today. And it's 40 in a 3-3 game. In fact, we're 3-3 across the board with the noon action here in the ACC.
Yeah, 3-3 everywhere.
Yeah. Huh? SMU, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, and here in Chapel Hill with Morris to throw. Pumps, looks, now in trouble. To his left, trying to get a block. He'll ride it upfield for about 8. Taken out of bounds by House, the linebacker. Boy, does he avoid another sack here by Carolina's pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they're collapsing the pocket right now, and he's hesitating, getting swallowed in there, but look at his feet. He stays alive, he comes out the pocket, and then he's got enough burst down the sideline.
Here's the give to Taylor. He's going to pivot, re-rack, first down and more. Plunges into the Carolina territory to the 42. And what did defensive coordinator Steve Belichick tell us yesterday about Chandler Morris? He makes plays, but he makes plays both ways, with his arm and his feet.
No doubt.
Here's a quick throw to the perimeter, and that is hauled in. John Rogers. There's Steve Belichick, who was a Jetfish at Washington last year. John Rogers, who had 2 catches at Louisville, has his 6th catch of the season there.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, they got that out quick. It was a good throw because they broke on that ball fast.
Now they're going to hand it to Taylor again, and I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe did.
That's good defense right there.
Yeah.
They brought pressure from the field, slanted the front. The way they were trying to run the play. Steve Belichick's done a really nice job here with this defense today. They're playing fast. I like the way he's defending and scheming against Virginia. This North Carolina team is coming to play today, and they look well prepared.
Thompson and Bear on the stop there. 2 guys they're pretty excited about. And now, 3rd and long for Morris and Virginia. Carolina bringing heat. Morris going to cut it loose. Edgerrin the catch. That'll be a first down at the 30-yard line. Jalen Thompson on the Purdue transfer, Jamal Edgerrin, who had 5 for 102 last Saturday night. And Steve, every ball seemed to be a big one when Edgerrin was making plays. Cavaliers quick. Another throw. This is Harris at the 10, and Trell Harris keeps his feet and scores.
What incredible effort. Individual effort. Good ball, good pass. Great run after catch.
Trell Harris is into the end zone for the first time since a 3-touchdown catch night against Stanford.
Get a 4-man rush. He's got a clean pocket. He throws a good ball. That's a missed tackle right there. Good strong legs. Missed tackle by Marcus Allen, but you got to really appreciate the effort there for the touchdown.
So with 6.5 minutes to go, Virginia on the board. Morris to Harris, 30 yards. And Bettridge for the point to make it a touchdown difference. So Trell Harris, who had a whale of a night against Stanford, 4 catches, 145 and 3, is back on the board for the first time. Touchdown catch here and makes it a 10-3 Cavalier lead. Well, back here in Chapel Hill, look at the Week 9 board. We were just everybody 3-3, Steve. Now all 3 games in action are at 10-3.
Kind of eerie.
Jake Dickert and Wake Forest with the lead in Winston-Salem. Georgia Tech up on Syracuse and Atlanta. And, of course, Chandler Morris to Trell Harris here has made it 10-3 Virginia. And last night, the Hokies ran for 357 on the ground.
Wow, that's a big night.
And a double overtime win over Cal. And time for today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. Let's re-rack the TD throw here, Coach.
Yeah, clean pocket, nice throw, but it's all right there. Trell breaking tackles and burst into the end zone and putting Virginia up with the lead. Now it's North Carolina's got to come back here and respond. That's part of the growth and development right now of this football team, to say, okay, we can respond here.
There you see Trell Harris. Here's Lopez for 1st and 10. Benjamin Hall's come in as the running back. We've seen 4 backs for Carolina in the opening half. And Hall trying to find a seam. And he'll get 3, maybe 4. Cam Robinson the stop, Dana.
One point to note, too, defensively for UNC, Wes and Steve, is that they're playing without their best player on defense, and Thaddeus Dix in the corner. He's day-to-day due to injury, but not only is one of their best players on defense, he's also bringing that leadership piece. Now, he is on the sideline still imposing that leadership, but not having him on the field is a big loss.
Yeah, one of the 2 Washington transfers, House being the other, that played for Steve Belichick a season ago in the Pacific Northwest.
Not easy losing your best corner now. That does make a dent on you.
Here's Lopez retreating, and he's just going to throw it away incomplete. Pressure was coming. Jameer Carter making the stop, and Lopez is now 6 of his last 11 after starting 6 of his first 7.
Well, that was a screen right there. They were setting up a screen, so they let them run through, but the timing was off, you know.
Yeah.
And the back, you know, they got the back got caught up in there.
Another quick look at it.
Yeah, the timing was off on the screen play.
Carolina 1 for 5 on 3rd down. And Lopez quickly again looking to throw. Hit as he does, and it's caught. And back across for the 1st down. Carolina advances it out to the 44-yard line, and that's McGill. Jalen McGill holding on for 15 yards here, and this was thrown through the eye of the needle.
Yeah, nice pocket. He steps up and he throws that ball, and they're able to get a critical 1st down. They needed to keep this drive moving, and they did. Now they have an opportunity here. Maybe they can get a shot down the field.
McGill stays in the ball game as the lone setback here. Carolina with a couple tight ends and 2 receivers on 1st down, and McGill will scramble for a couple of yards to the 47.
That's tough. They're running in the rifle from the field, which means they're bringing a safety from the field, rotating the defensive front. Nowhere to really run with the ball there. It's good defense by Virginia. And I saw Carolina checked into that play, which kind of surprised me a little bit. You know, I don't know if that's the play you want to be in versus that blitz, but whatever.
Steve, if you're Freddie Kitchens and Bill Belichick, you're sorting through personnel. You're trying to find, you've had some good things go on last week at Cal. You're trying to find that rhythm a little bit, but you're also doing it with a lot of different people here too.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, that makes it hard, but I think they're giving an opportunity for Gio Lopez to get going here today.
86, that's Madrid Tucker again, making another catch. That's 9 yards for the true freshman who's playing for the 1st time today.
Good ball. He had a lot of zip on that ball.
Oh yeah, Lopez can spin it now. Said last summer he really loved baseball, wasn't sure about football. But it worked out for him as a high schooler, and then of course went to play for Major Applewhite at South Alabama, and now is transferred here to Carolina. There's a give, and trying to fight back for yardage is Goss, and it'll be 2nd down and long, Dana.
Well, you guys were talking about it. 70 new players, 30 true freshmen, and 40 from the portal. Gio Lopez told me this week that he said there's so many new faces. He said, I didn't realize until a few weeks into fall camp that Max Johnson, who sits in the same quarterback room as me, was brothers with Jake Johnson. He said there was some weird brotherly love going on, and I thought, that's kind of odd, but I guess they're just really good friends. Well, they're brothers, Gio. How awesome is that?
That's today's college football, Steve.
Yeah, no question. And they look alike too.
Yeah. Good way to go, Gio. Pick it up. Here's Clower. He'll hold on. Still short of the 1st down. Devin Neal, the tackle. That's Tucker, 86. Shenard Clower is 5'9", 165. He's a dreadnought from Lakeland. And then Madrid Tucker's 5'10", 170. You couldn't tell them apart. And when they stand on the field, one's 86 and one's 85. There is Max Johnson, by the way, which, let me just tell you, the fact he's got a helmet buckled up and has played is one of the great returns medically that you've seen in a long time, Coach.
Well, I love him. I was with him at A&M. He's a competitor. He's a leader. He throws a great deep ball. He's a heck of a player. I love Max.
Look at this. Ship on a rope from Lopez. It'll be 1st and 10 at 27. Antonio Clary plays today for the 44th time in a Virginia jersey. Makes the stop. And here's the Carolina offense now building momentum. And with time, Lopez is starting to spin it.
He's getting confidence in his throws. And that's critical for North Carolina right now.
Yep.
To have him play at a higher level. He needed to do that, and he's doing it right now so far today in this game.
Tar Heels are going to let the clock work to the 2-minute timeout. It's a 10-3 game here in Chapel Hill. Virginia with the lead, and Carolina may be trying to finish the half here. Back to Chapel Hill in a moment. Back in Chapel Hill for ACC Network Football presented by Dr. Pepper. Number 16 Virginia leads North Carolina 10-3. 2 minutes to go in this first half, and Tar Heels are on the march. 11th play of the drive. Lopez looks, quick throw to the far side. Paysour breaks free, and he is down at the 1. Covered it up with both arms, though, when he got to the ground. Did Kobe Paysour. It's a 26-yard throw. It's 1st and goal for Carolina.
Look at him with the ball hiding tight right there. You gotta love that. Hey, we're not dribbling that ball in the end zone anymore, man. We'll take it on the 1-yard line or inside the 1. That was an RPO by Gio Lopez off the counter play. And I'm gonna tell you what, he is confident in those RPOs. He came off of that thing and ripped it. That's a big play for North Carolina. They got to finish it off with a score here, run this thing in.
Damon June comes into the ball game. Paysour and Ship to the right, 2 tight ends to the left, and Lopez is going to try and sneak. They'll come in and give it a look from either side. Touchdown, Carolina. It is the 2nd rushing score of the year for Gio Lopez. And set up by a pretty sharp 26-yard throw, Steve.
Yeah, like I said, really nice RPO action. But look at this. Puts his foot in the ground. That's bad tackling now. But he gets his foot around, gets vertical, sure hands it. But Coach Belichick, thank you. Thank you for the quarterback, under center, quarterback sneak inside the one for the touchdown. Not the shotgun, under center, score a touchdown. We got us a ball game.
10 plays, 75 yards, 5-12 the time of the drive. Gio Lopez 5 for 6 and 66 yards on the drive, and we're now tied at 10 on the Verhoff extra point. Virginia has all 3 timeouts and 1:24 in a 10-10 game here in Chapel Hill.
Well, this is, you know, in your run in a season when you're having a good year, and they've had their share of them at Virginia this year, but they're in another one here where they're going to have to dig deep right now. They're going to have to answer. You got Carolina getting better every week. They're playing fast, playing hard, building belief.
Right.
And then you have Virginia on the other side saying, okay, we're in uncharted territory playing from the front right now, but we've got to dig deep and answer here against North Carolina. So this is all good stuff, you know, on both sides, Wes.
Chandler Morris, he and offensive coordinator Des Kitchings get to work here on this last possession for the Cavaliers. Jamari Taylor is deep here for the kick, and there'll be no return. Virginia is going to start from its 25-yard line. You see Morris on the jog out, and of course he and Tony Elliott, long association for these guys. That's not their first time hanging out.
Since age 12, you said, right?
Well,
age 12. Give me a little of that Wesology right now.
Right about in that neighborhood, because Tony Elliott, of course, was a long-time assistant from 2011 to 2021 at Clemson, and one time he tutored under an offensive coordinator named Chad Morris. And Chad is somewhere in this building today watching his son.
Yeah, it's awesome feeling, man. Your dad, you got your son out there. Pretty cool.
Quick throw in the slot, and that's Courtney trying to get a couple of yards. Caleb Koss, the tackle out of the Tar Heels secondary. And of course, let's drag out some Clemson photos. There's Tony Elliott, second from the right, next to Jeff Scott and Robbie Caldwell. Dabo Sweeney and that staff. There's another throw out of the backfield. Taylor spins off a one, keeps his feet out of bounds. He goes at the 32. It'll be 3rd and 3 with Will Hardy shoving him out.
As they, you know, that was not great tackling. And North Carolina's been tackling well, but that was not an example of it. But now we got 3rd and medium here for Virginia. Yep. And this is where, you know, I think Chandler Morris has got to, you know, he's my dude on offense for Virginia. He's got to be doodly right now. You know, the big D has got to come up here.
Virginia 2 for 6 on 3rd down. Carolina bringing 3. Morris going to hang it upfield for Courtney. Cannot come up with it. He was battling Caleb Koss stride for stride. And Virginia's going to give this over with 55 seconds left.
This is a really nice throw here, I think. I mean, he lays it up here, and that's, you got it. It's a tough catch. It's not an easy catch, but that's a ball you want to be able to bring in and be a big strike and a big explosive. So they took a shot, they missed, but you got to kind of appreciate that. That'll come back to you later.
Tony Elliott's got 4 3-and-outs in the Cavaliers' first 6 possessions here today. Javarius Green is deep. Here is Sparks. A wobbly punt. Hardy is the up man in punt cover, or punt return rather. Green the catch, tries to work back toward the 25, and he'll be taken down there. Well, if you like watching the best games, tune in tomorrow at noon here on ACC Network. The nation's 5th-ranked volleyball teams in action. Stanford meets Georgia Tech at historic O'Keefe Gym. And then at 7 o'clock Eastern, we got soccer on the ladies' side. Number 7 Dukes at NC State. Noon and 7 tomorrow on an ACC Sunday on ACCN and the ESPN app.
I love that volleyball, man. I used to watch my daughter-in-law, BC, play volleyball. That's fun. That's a heck of a sport, man.
So Gio Lopez, look at this, Steve. A season high 173 passing in the opening half. I know Dana's going to get a chance to speak with Bill Belichick before we get to the second half. Steve, this might be their best half of football, both sides.
Yeah, I would think it is, and they need Gio Lopez to step up and make the plays he's making. It's really important.
Here's Lopez trying to keep his feet to his right. Now fires it down the field. Paysour, it's well overthrown. Incomplete. Christian Charles was in coverage. A note off the Virginia bench, Ethan Minner did come back and is available to return to the game. I don't know that we have seen him on the field yet for Tony Elliott's team. Remember, he was shaken up early in the ball game today.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
You're watching two D-lines now. I think North Carolina's D-line and Virginia's D-line, I think they're playing really hard up front. They're creating a lot of pressure. I don't know if it's a reflection of them or the O-line or what it is, but there is pressure, and it's disrupting the flow of the cues.
2nd down and 10. Lopez going to keep it this time. He'll get 5. He's got 10 as he dives across the 35. Now Carolina has 3 timeouts, and they're going to take one here.
You know what I like, Wes? I like at the end of the play he dives forward to get the first down.
Yep.
Not sliding.
Reese Verhoff's longest field goal of the year is 49 yards, and it was at Charlotte. So that's something to keep in mind, but Carolina's got probably 35 yards or so they've got to pick up before they even begin to think about that.
Well, this is a situation here. You talk about finding growth in your quarterback, right? You'd love to see growth with, Gio Lopez and have the opportunity to bring his team down into field goal range and kick a field goal here and not turn this thing over, but make really good throws and really good decisions and utilize the clock well. So this is a big series here, and for a lot of reasons.
You look at the numbers here. Virginia, the one that came in with all the explosiveness on offense, only 126 yards in this first half and only 19 yards of rushing for a team averaging over 200 a game.
Yeah, credit that Carolina defense.
Yeah, Tar Heel defense is starting to tune things up again. Virginia's only averaging 1.6 yards per rush. Here's Lopez again. Up in the pocket and hit as he throws, and that ends up in the band. Jason Hammond was fighting through traffic and made the hit on Lopez with 24 seconds left.
Yeah, just, he couldn't make a decision there scanning the field, and it's kind of like a coverage sack, although I thought he had an opportunity on the in route, but that's okay. Throw it away, play 2nd down, be smart, don't take any sacks here. You can't do that.
So 3 receivers to the field, 2 again to the boundary here. And they're going to bring Goss into the backfield now with Lopez. And going to hand it to Davion Goss, who takes off into the Virginia secondary, and will be brought down in Cavalier territory. And another timeout. Bill Belichick whistling for the timeout with 18 seconds left. The ball at the Cavalier 39. Christian Charles saves the touchdown.
That was a good call. I like that call right there. A lot of people wouldn't make that call, but you got a defense that's got a too high shell, dropping back, and you're handing the ball off and puncturing the center of that defense. That's to me, that's a good call. Now you're in a situation where you're on the plus side of the 40, and you got enough time here. You got 18 seconds now. You got a first down. I don't think downs are going to be your problem right now. It's going to be how many plays can you run right now. And I would say potentially, you got 2, possibly 3 plays.
Well, you've got 1 timeout left.
Right.
And the idea here is, at worst, you want to kick a field goal, correct?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I think right now that's what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to get within field goal range, so keep that in mind, right? How many yards do you need? You got maybe 3 plays, maybe 3, maybe 2.
Lopez got a final word from quarterbacks coach Matt Lombardi, the son of the Carolina general manager Mike Lombardi, as they return to the huddle at the Virginia 39 now. 18 seconds left. They're going to run it again, and this is Hall getting to about the 32. Is Carolina going to take another timeout? Or they will. Their last will come with 12 seconds left.
Well, I mean, that one surprises me a little bit. I thought maybe they might try to sprint them out, roll them out, try to get 5 and bank that timeout,
Now they're going to start. Well, they're moving the clock, and they're going to call the last timeout. Here's the last timeout with 5 seconds left. Now they're going to kick the field goal.
So he didn't want to mess with it.
He did not call the timeout. He waited for the clock to be restarted.
Yeah.
But that was calls the timeout.
That was going to be his play. Yeah. He felt like he had enough to kick the field goal. He didn't want to take a chance. So he's, instead of trying to mess with that clock with a little bit of inexperience and youth to get another 4 or 5 yards, he probably felt like, you know, he's got it here. Let's take it.
Yeah, Tony Elliott, I think, was as surprised as I was for a moment while the clock stopped on a running play, Steve.
Yeah.
Off a first down snap.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that.
So anyway,
myself.
5 seconds to go. It's going to end up being right at 49 yards, which would equal Verhoff's longest. He kicked a 49-yarder at Charlotte. He's a transfer from Marshall. A year ago, he kicked a 51-yarder at Georgia Southern. And they're going to put this down right at 50 yards. So this is to give Carolina the lead going to the locker room. Middle of the field. And Tony Elliott burned the timeout just as they pulled the snap. When Bill Belichick was the coach of the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel was one of his linebackers, he later had another linebacker, Rob Ninkovich. And those of you that are Patriot fans remember that Vrabel and Ninkovich were both infamous for this.
Yeah.
When the Patriots had timeouts and an opponent was kind of trying to kick a field goal late in the game, Vrabel or Ninkovich was the guys that banged the timeout.
Yeah, there's another school of thought there, though. Don't give the kicker a warm-up rep. If you're going to bang the timeout,
sure,
bang it right before he kicks it.
And to Verhoff's credit, he took the warm-up rep.
I know. I like to me, you bang them before that foot hits, before that happens. But
see if he can drive it in the fairway again, Steve. Snap, spot, kick away by Verhoff. And it is no good. He tugged it to the left. And we're going to go to the break in Chapel Hill, tied at 10. So the Cavaliers have seen Carolina play their best half of football, perhaps on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, despite a turnover on their second possession. Virginia will have the ball to start the second half when we rejoin you from Chapel Hill. But first, off to Derby City and their customized bourbon. Here's Taylor Tannenbaum, Eddie Royal, Eric McLean, and Jimbo Fisher. We welcome you back where we're playing football in a forest. ACC Network Football presented by Dr. Pepper. We're in the 130th edition of the South's oldest rivalry, and here at the half, North Carolina and number 16 Virginia are tied at 10. Wes Durham, Steve Addazio, Dana Boyle in just a moment. Carolina had an opportunity early, second possession. Ball got loose, fumbled into the end zone, touchback for Virginia. This game then counterpunched seemingly the rest of the first half, Coach.
I don't think any question. I think both defensive lines for Virginia and North Carolina are playing really well. They're controlling the line of scrimmage and pressuring the quarterbacks.
Well, Gatorades, is it in you? How about the change of momentum? Here it is right here. Looks like Kobe Pacer is going into the end zone. Ball is ruled to be out of his hand. It hit the pylon, goes through. That's a touchback. Then Virginia takes advantage. In a 3-3 game, Trell Harris breaks free. 30-yard touchdown. And then Carolina answers on a nice long drive that ends up with a Gio Lopez 1-yard run. So we go to the locker room tied at 10. Dana, the consensus up here is that we just saw Carolina's best 30 minutes of football this season.
Well, Wes, I thought the same thing, and I asked Bill Belichick, is this the best half of football you played? And he said, absolutely not. I said, how do you punch back? He said, we've got to stop turning the ball over. He is pleased with the play of his quarterback, Gio Lopez, though, guys.
Well, that's why he's going to Canton, Ohio, Steve, and we're not.
Yeah, and he is going to Canton. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time, and he's had some really done a great job here today preparing his football team, and they are growing and they are developing, and that's a credit to him and his staff.
So here are the Cavaliers trying to stay in the top of the ACC race with Morris, and pressure immediately on first down. He'll re-rack, now wants to throw down the field, and he'll misfire to Taylor. And Abu Jade, the defensive end, who Coach Belichick's very excited about. Big number 9, the transfer from Delaware at 6'5" and 260, was all in the business of Chandler Morris.
And he's one of my dudes. I like that. Plus, when you talk about Abu Jade, he's got dude right in there. The name reeks of dude. Tough, hard-nosed, gritty, lunch pail guy, man. I love that.
And the new word that we're all getting into our lexicon of doodling.
Yeah, I was told it's not a word by many people, but that's the beauty when when it's your deal, you can say what you want.
There's a quick throw and a catch by the Cavaliers. It'll be a throw of 6 on second down, and a good strong throw to Edgeman, who had 5 for 102 last week against Wazoo. House on the stop. Look at Virginia right on the line. Quick 3rd and 4. Morris to work on a quick snap. Back foot throw. Looking Harris near side. He can't come up with it. Kost was trailing. The throw to Trell Harris. Leroy Jackson was pressuring Morris up the middle. And Virginia is getting ready to go 3 and out for the second straight possession, Steve, and 4 of their last 5.
Yeah, the pass is just a little bit off, and it's like you said, Jackson created the pressure there on Chandler, and he's just not settled right now. Chandler Morris to me is just a little off, and I think you got to credit North Carolina's defensive line for that.
Here's the punt by Sparks. Will Hardy is deep. It'll roll around in the neighborhood of the 27 or 28-yard line, and that's where it gets touched up. 42-yard punt. Look at these stats now. You see Carolina's 246. Carolina's only averaging, Steve, 267 a game. They had 246 in the first half. Virginia, their fewest yards since October a year ago, better than a year ago, in a win against Boston College.
Well, I think to Dana's interview, that's a heck of a first half of football for North Carolina. Statistically, backs it right up.
Yeah. Tony Elliott, Bill Belichick squaring off. We're 10-10 at possession into this second half. And here is Lopez trying to keep his feet and got spun over at the 30. Gain of 2 on the play, Dana. Cam Robinson the stop.
Well, Wes, a big point of emphasis out of the locker room when I spoke to Tony Elliott is they've got to get in a rhythm on offense. We haven't seen that in the first half, and he also challenged the pieces around quarterback Chandler Morris to step up, specifically the wideouts like we saw on that drop catch.
So here's 2nd and 7. Oh, what a good job he's done at UVA. Can't say enough about the move they've made this year and in his 4th season.
Yeah, Tony's done a great job. He's got a real good perspective.
Here's Ship in motion. Now they're going to throw the long ball. That's way over the top of Paysour. Incomplete. Platt was in coverage. Gio took another heavy shot. This is James Jackson.
Yeah, that was close.
Through.
That one, now to me, that one's close.
Yeah.
But those balls right there, you know, you're going to throw those one-on-one balls. You got to give them a chance to catch it. No one's going to catch it if you don't put it near them. Third and long here right now. These are the situations that are not Carolina's friend. They're not Gio Lopez's friend. But once again, they're going to be an empty, as Coach Belichick said. And I think they start an empty, and then they bring them back into the backfield to help unwind the defense.
Boy, Goss was a late add as the running back. Here comes more pressure on Lopez, and he's going to be sacked. The Cavaliers fight through there. Jacob Holmes, transfer from Fresno State, is the first blue hat. Rickard is in the mix as well. He's always around the football seemingly when Virginia's pressuring.
Yeah, they double twisted. Both sides had a twist going on with the defensive line, and he came free and was able to get the sack. These D lines are creating havoc for these quarterbacks right now. Again, it's a fun battle to watch.
3 and out for Carolina now. And
The game clock was never stopped due to the helmet coming off. Please set the game clock to 13 minutes and 27 seconds. It will start on my signal.
the referee today, Darryl DeBerry, as assigned by the Atlantic Coast Conference. Little game management there.
Well, UVA has an opportunity to get some good field position here. So it'd be nice to be able to set up a good return right now and get them an opportunity to get a little closer.
McGinnis hammers it toward Thomas, who will field at the 27 and just dive back to the 32. 51-yard punt by McGinnis. Just a return of about 5. Timeout in Chapel Hill. 2 minutes in. Second half action tied at 10. Inside the Keenan Football Center here in Chapel Hill. It's one of 2 statues. The other statue down in that area is of the legendary Charlie Choo Choo Justice. And you asked me a very interesting question during the break, and maybe before we're done today, I'll spell it out for you.
I want to hear it.
Ball at the 32. Here's Morris and the Cavaliers. He's looking for the throw, and Edgerrin another big catch. In the Carolina secondary to the Tar Heel 40 goes Jamal Edgerrin. And seemingly here, in like the last 3 or 4 games, this is the guy, Steve, for Chandler Morris. Jamal Edgerrin is on the back end of some really big throws.
Yeah, he took another hit there, did Chandler, but what a nice throw and what a nice catch over the middle, setting up this first down.
Yeah, the Cam Ross injury only leans more into Edgerrin's presence. He and Trell Harris, longest pass of the day by the Cavaliers, and here's Morris again. Eluding rush to his right, wants to make a throw, trying to slip it to Taylor. He can't make the catch against Caleb Cost. And it'll be second down.
That was yeah, nice play by Morris. And that's tough. Good defense. Would have been a nice catch on the sideline. They need Chandler Morris here. Virginia does, to become, you know, the leader that he is. He needs to put this offense on his back, and they gotta come away with points here. Second and long.
That's Taylor in the orbit. Morris looks, pressure coming, in trouble, and he's sacked. And that's Abujade. Melkart Abujade.
Well, Jack Whitmer, the right tackle, got beat there on that play, and that happened really quick. I think it was a spin move here, but you know, yeah, there it is, the spin move, and he doesn't have a chance. I mean, Morris doesn't have a chance. Plus, he got twisted on his way down to the ground. But they got to do better than that in protection now.
Boy, Abujade played 25 games at Delaware for the Blue Hens, who are now in FBS, only 6 a year ago. Virginia been sacked for the 3rd time today. Morris cuts that loose, and that's Trell Harris hauling it in. He's going to be short of the first down on 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
But Virginia's keeping the offense on the field here.
You know, in that last play now, you had dude on dude right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Abujade versus Morris. That was the double D in the box right there. That happened. We saw that. 2 players banging on each other right there. Big 4th down here. 4th and medium. You got to wonder if there's going to be pressure here right now. If they're going to add and bring 5 here as opposed to 4. Looks like maybe.
ESPN analytics say go. Here's Morris trying to throw and intercepted. There's a flag on the pick by Marcus Allen. Inside the Carolina 15. It's pass interference, though, against the Tar Heels. It'll negate the interception and give Virginia a first down, and the drive is alive for the Cavaliers.
Wow. I guess they're going to call interference from the back.
Pass interference. Defense number 15.
Oh.
Automatic.
Oh.
First down.
Trey Miller.
I don't see it.
Well, it must be in the middle of the field, Steve, because this is between Allen and Courtney here, and Miller, we didn't have, the report was 15 was the party on the infraction.
Right. I don't see 15, but I mean, I know this. I didn't see a PI there. Wow. Oh, boy.
Ball at the 22 of the Tar Heels. Virginia, after the penalty, keeps the drive alive after they miss on 4th down. Here's a little delay, and Taylor trying to build some steam. Only gets a yard. Carolina shut him down. Will Hardy and Smith Vilbert combine on the stop.
I mean, I guess they're calling that bang right there on the 25-yard line for the PI. That's the only contact that occurred on that play.
I think the wrong number might have been announced.
Yeah, I think it had to be. I'm not sure. I didn't see.
So 2nd and 9 after Taylor only got a yard. Look at this little option read, and here goes Jamari Taylor around the edge. He'll be close to a first down. He got edged out by Simpson and Gibson. 7-yard run. Another look here again.
Yeah, I think they're calling this on 29.
Yeah, Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen. I don't know that, but it's got to be because there's contact down the field. Boy, that's a tough call right there. Yeah. Well, they got to get a stop here. It's 3rd and short right now. They've got to get a stop because this could be 2-down territory for Virginia, right? They hand this off and they get a couple of yards here. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Pistol set. Carolina with 3 on the line, and now the Tar Heels want a timeout. Crowd is not happy with the pass interference call, among other frustrations from the partisan house here at Kenan Stadium.
Yeah, got to get that behind you, though. If you're North Carolina right now, you got to get a stop here. And Virginia, you're saying to your guys right now, you're over in the huddle right now, to me, and the guys saying, can we get a yard and a half, guys? A yard and a half. We got to get some movement up front. We got to be able to get a yard and a half here. We need a 1st down. We can't settle for 3 here.
Dana takes me back to our production meetings with some of these coaches when the old O-line guy up here always says, what are you going to run when you need a yard?
I mean, yeah, you should, when you run, to me, when you run for a yard, even if you don't block anybody, I mean, you should be able to hit. The running back should hit and fall for a yard. I mean, come on. But this D-line in North Carolina now, they've been stout today.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of movement to be had up front, I'll tell you that. So they might decide to roll Chandler Morris out here right now and give him a run-pass option.
Virginia's only averaged a yard and a half on the ground, Steve. Here goes Taylor, straight ahead, left side, 1st down and more, and it'll be 1st and goal. Jamari Taylor, who's been the workhorse for the Cavaliers. He's had 5 100-yard games in his career. He's only got 1 as a Cavalier, and that was 150 at NC State.
Watch him here. Low pad, drive your legs, get the 1st down. That's what a good running back looks like, sounds like. That's what it should be right there.
That's the Mizzou transfer. Makai Bayer on the back end of that. So 1st and goal here for Morris and the Wahoos. In a 10-10 game, that's Harris in motion. Here's Morris, going to flip it for Ennis in the end zone, and incomplete. Ennis was battling with Hardy. Boy, Will Hardy's played a lot of football here. Senior from Greater Atlanta Christian in his 46th game as a Tar Heel.
Little bootleg protection, give him a good pocket. That's a floater. I don't like floaters down there. You know, those things can get tipped and picked. I'm not into that now. Come on, man. D-line, O-line. Let's see this battle up in here right now.
Tight end, 2 receivers to the right. Edgerrin to the bottom of your screen. Morris going to keep it. Chandler Morris up the middle and fumbled the ball. It was loose, and I think Virginia fell on it. Inside the 2, Robinson, I think, banged it away from Chandler Morris.
Oh, I think that was a loose ball. That's a heads-up play jumping on that ball. You know, I'm not sure that. Watch this replay. A little cute quarterback draw, and look at him rake that ball. That ball's out, I think. Good headsy play there.
Tony Elliott used to tell Chandler Morris when he was just a tyke at Dabo Swinney's, when they were playing out in the field, just ball security was the #1 thing. 3rd and goal. Here's Morris looking, backside throw beyond the reach of Ennis, who got knocked around a little bit on his route, but still had plenty of time to gather and could not make the play. Morris might have thrown it beyond his reach. Now 4th and goal, and the Cavaliers are bringing big people into the lineup, Steve.
This is the old why high play. This was a George DeLeon special for years at Syracuse, where you hide the tight end, roll the quarterback out, and then try to hit the tight end on the crosser. That was our go-to play. 4th and 1. Great call. Didn't make it happen. Now you got to make it happen on 4th and 1.
Ben York has come in as an extra tackle. Taylor's the running back. Morris in the gun. Look at now. Taylor's going to slide to the right. Here's a sprint to the right. They're going to throw for Taylor. It's low and incomplete. Carolina gets the hold. Coleman Bryson, transfer from Minnesota, was out there, but that ball was underthrown to the running back, Jamari Taylor.
Credit North Carolina with really good defense. Really good defense.
Tar Heels, who've been sturdy most of the day on defense, get a hold of the Cavaliers on a goal to go. We're still tied at 10 in Chapel Hill.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
Back here in Chapel Hill, still tied at 10, Steve. Another look at the 4th down play from Virginia.
Yeah, he got a little off pace because there was penetration inside, but man, oh man, what a missed opportunity for Virginia. 2 shots inside the 1 to get in and score.
So Carolina starts 99 yards away at its 1. And Lopez just going to try and sneak and got 3, maybe 4 toward the 5.
Once again, under center, quarterback sneak, get it off the 1, get it to the 4. Love that.
Chandler Morris taking a look at the iPad with Taylor Lamb, the quarterback's coach. Number 16, Virginia's won 5 straight. First time that's happened in 18 years, since 2007. Cavaliers are 6-1. They're 3-0 in the ACC. Here's Lopez, play fake, wants to throw pressure coming and incomplete. That is Melton again. Boy, Mitchell Melton winning right away in the face of Gio Lopez. And
wow,
is there a discussion here? Was that toward a receiver, Steve?
I think towards a receiver, but I mean, look the right tackle here. You know, Ja'Kai Moore got beat so fast. I mean, that just was immediate. He didn't have a chance.
Yeah. So now 3rd down and a half dozen for the Tar Heels. And they're going to sneak the ball on the handoff, and coming up a couple yards short. Robinson the stop on Goss.
Yeah, you know, your goal when you come, they call that coming out. And when you're in the coming out zone, your goal is to at least get the first down, and you'd like to get 2 first downs so you can reflip the field again. So this is not ideal. Punting from the back or 3/4 of the way through your end zone and giving a short field here to Virginia. Interesting to see. It looks as though Virginia is setting up a return and not going after the punt.
Each team's got 5 3-and-outs here today. We've had 10 3-and-outs, 5 from each school defensively. And here is Thomas signaling for the fair catch. He'll do so at the Virginia 49. Don't forget, we're just getting started here on ACC Network. Still to come, Chris Cotter, Max Brown standing by at Pittsburgh for the Wolfpack and the Panthers at 3:30. And then late night tonight, George Sedano and Rodney McLeod will greet you from Louisville with BC and Louisville. And a look at the Cavaliers' last drive. They threatened, Steve, but could not finish. And then when they got into low red zone, Carolina really tightened up.
Yeah, neither play was very good by Chandler Morris. That's, you know, he's your guy. He's got to make one of those plays, and he made neither one of them. But they got an opportunity here again on short field.
3rd possession here. Morris, quick throw, intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Simpson, and Carolina's in plus territory on Morris's 5th interception of the year. First Virginia turnover of the day. With 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd, and is Morris shaken up here?
Wow. Well, he threw a really ill-advised ball. And then he ran down the sideline here trying to tackle him, and, you know, try to tackle him with his shoulders and he got kicked in the back of the head right there at the very end. You hate to see your quarterback, you know, involved in that, but he was the last line of defense to prevent a touchdown.
So now at the Virginia 36, and Chandler Morris is shaken up on the play. The Boise State transfer, Andrew Simpson, with his first interception as a Tar Heel, the 4th of his college career. That's June in motion, the running back. Lopez giving a lot of ground and hanging it up incomplete. Jake Johnson was the closest Tar Heel.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're using that running back, bring him back into the backfield to unwind whether you have zone or man coverage. But right now, Gio Lopez is not able to set his feet. He's running all over the place. Both these D-lines, right now Virginia's D-line is creating pressure on him.
So 2nd down and 10. Lopez handing the ball to June, and Damon June going to get 6 to the 30.
Yeah.
Tripped up by Prevard, the Spur, and there's Danny Kalen, the Nebraska transfer, who played briefly against William and Mary, Stanford, and Coastal this year in terms of pass attempts.
Well, I asked them during the week, when we spoke to them, I said, if Chandler Morris were to get hurt, we were talking about pitch count for his runs and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel good about your backup? And of course, Des Kitchen said, I felt great about him.
Yep.
We're going to find out potentially.
Damon June coming to a complete stop. Almost now throwing his hands up in the air. And here's Lopez. They're trying to sneak for this. And it's still going to be 4th and short, I think.
Little trickeration.
Yeah, they had June come to a stop, holds up his hands. The receivers are holding up hands. And meanwhile, Lopez took the sneak and took off. So it's look at the hands are up in the air.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the ball got snapped.
O-line did a nice job of balling him up front.
Carolina loading it up here. 4th and short. They'll hand the ball to June. 1st down and more for the Tar Heels. Maybe inside the 20 for 1st and 10 now for Carolina.
Yeah, they're just running a little simple inside zone play and a lot of vertical push and a lot of leg drive inside the 20.
Red zone opportunity on 1st down, and June drops his shoulder. Picks up 2 or 3.
Getting a little bit of movement up front, the Carolina O-line, so we'll see.
See Lopez, 17 of his first 23. Missed on his last 5. Carolina's been moving it on the ground here. Last couple of snaps. June again. Boy, got hit right away. Corey Costner and Jackson, the linebacker. See Costner 18, he was involved. Jackson threw the haymaker in there too.
They came off the back edge and plus the box here. Brought a little edge pressure and really plus the box.
Carolina had been 128th, only 6 red zone trips. Or 16 red zone trips coming in. Steve, they got 4 today.
Well, they got to capitalize here on 3rd down.
Goss has come back in for Carolina. Lopez to throw. Pressure coming. He'll load and almost threw a pick. It got deflected and intercepted by Melton. The big defensive end almost got the first throw. It then caromed off a helmet or shoulder pad and up into the air. And Virginia's got a red zone takeaway of Carolina. Fifth interception of the year. 4th off of Gio Lopez's hand. Back to Chapel Hill in a moment. Well, Gio Lopez a moment ago, Steve. The turnover here looked like Melton had a crack at it. Then the ball got deflected up in the air by Carnley. And next thing you know, Melton did get the interception. And here's Jamari Taylor trying to get Virginia started on the ground. And boy, Carolina, Smith-Vilbert makes a stop there on the Cavalier running back. Dana, what do you have for us?
Well, quarterback Chandler Morris jumped up so fast out of his seat on that interception. So he may be a little banged up, but you wouldn't know it. Coach Elliott said he's a warrior. It's going to take a lot for him to stay on the sidelines, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, no question, man. That guy's a competitor. You're going to have to drag him off this field.
Tar Heels. A lot of that single high today, Steve, defensively, but the front has been the story.
Yeah, dominating. On that last run play, they dominated as well.
Here goes Taylor, and again, Virginia, who came into the ball game 14th in the ACC, or I'm sorry, 3rd in the ACC, 26th nationally, at almost 204 yards a game. Now, against the league, they dropped off to 168 in their first 3 league games, Steve. They're having a hard time against this Carolina front.
Right, because Chandler Morris is their guy, and right now he's struggling. You know, and he's the bell cow for this offense. He sets up the running game, so he's got to be able to put this team on his back a little bit here, and he's having a hard time because of the pressure up front and a lot of factors aren't helping him, but he's got to rise up and find a way.
Only 38 yards of rushing for the Cavaliers. Morris trying to get rid of it, does. Near side, that's Edgerrin, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Coleman Bryson, the open field tackle for the Tar Heels, of Jamal Edgerrin. Well, look at Taylor take a little starch out of House. Huh?
Yeah, they brought a little simulated pressure that time. 4-man rush, dropped an end out, brought a backer.
And Taylor just kind of
again
trying to probe as much as he can for yard 2. Okay, you're the old O-line guy. Okay. Yeah. When the running gets hard here, guys keep pecking away, though, right? Do you keep pecking away because you think, hey, eventually they're not going to fit it as well as they fit it before?
No, right now, Chandler Morris, he's got to be in charge of the football right now. Throwing it, running it, maybe some read option, some play action pass, move the pocket for him. Don't make him stay in that pocket. He's got to generate the offense. He made a nice throw on that last play, and now they got a manageable second down here.
Harrison Whaley has come in for the second down throw. Morris looking for help. He'll check it down to Whaley, and Whaley takes on a man and pushes to the 26. It'll be 3rd and short. That was the veteran Marcus Allen coming up to make the tackle out of Walton High School in suburban Atlanta. Look at this.
Down.
Here we go. Look. Oh boy.
Yeah. Lower his pads. I like that. I like that run. I mean, I like the way that he took on that contact with a low pad. Took it on with his shoulder, and you saw his knees driving. I like that. Now it's 3rd and very manageable here. But I would involve Morris with this play if it were me right now. They're not getting a lot of movement up front.
Virginia's just 4 of 13 on 3rd down. They're going to hand the ball to Taylor Whaley rather. Hard run and a first down to the 29. Bayer the stop on Harrison Whaley out of Johnston, Iowa. 14 career 100-yard games. This is his 44th career game. 3,452 yards in a career that began at Northern Illinois, then went to Laramie, Wyoming, and is finishing in Charlottesville, Virginia. The South's oldest rivalry is tied at 10. Quarter 4 next. watching the Atlantic Coast Conference on ESPN. Our ACC network coverage from Kenan Stadium today in Chapel Hill, the 130th renewal of the South's oldest rivalry, and we go to quarter 4 in a 10-10 game. Chandler Morris has been banged around a little bit. He's got a touchdown pass and an interception on his stat line today as we go to the 4th on 1st and 10, and a play fake to Whaley. Morris from the pocket being pursued again. He'll be sacked. Abujade again making the sack. That's 4 today by Carolina, and the second from Melkart Abujade.
That's dude on dude again. Here we go. The double D. Wow. Nice job of skinning the corner and making that play. This is what's happened all day long with Chandler Morris. He just can't get his feet set.
Yeah.
And you know, there's disruption, and I think he's lost his timing and his confidence. The offensive line's got to do a better job. They got to protect him.
Second down and long now. Morris straight drop, flushed here to the near side. Flag thrown. He'll cut it back in the middle of the field. That's Edgerrin.
Yeah, that's going to be holding on Ben York, who's in the game right now. He's struggling on the edge.
Well, Whitmer was struggling. New York's come in.
Offense number 72, 10-yard penalty.
So you've got York and Metcalf on the right side. Wilson is the pivot. Josie and Foley out there to the left.
That's a major hold here. He's going to get defeated. You're looking at the right tackle right now. He's got his jersey. He's yanking. He's pulling him. I mean,
yeah,
that's not a hard deal, you know. But Smith-Vilbert did a nice job of creating that pressure. This D-line, you got to credit. This D-line from North Carolina is playing.
Yep.
They're playing. They're violent. They're disruptive with their hands, and they're relentless. And this O-line from Virginia is struggling with it in protection and the run game.
This defensive line is coached by Bob Diaco. In his first year on Bill Belichick's staff, former head coach at UConn, longtime college assistant. Great player at Iowa as a linebacker. Here's Morris trying to avoid another sack. Is that a fumble? It, at least for the moment, is. And I think Virginia got on it. Tyler Thompson, who was terrific last week in Berkeley, knocked it away from Chandler Morris, and the Cavaliers lucky they didn't give it to Carolina in the red zone.
Wow. Now you're going to watch Noah Josie here, the left guard, is going to get beat and spun around right there, and that's where it all started. And then they're all running to the ball, and Chandler got pounded in the ground at the end on his shoulder right there. That's a hard hit. He's taking some real shots here today.
It's another 3 and out. Or no, beg your pardon, 9 plays. We had the quarter exchange, and now here on the return is Green, dumped over at the 38. So Chandler Morris, we saw him get hurt on the interception he threw to Simpson, and oh yeah, noticeably
he's in pain, Wes.
Grimacing as he comes to the sideline.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep an eye on him. Carolina's got a season high 5 sacks, and they take over.
He needs to get
Tar Heels at the 38. Steve.
He needs to get up off that bench right now, walk down to the 5 dudes playing up front in the offensive line, and he needs to get up in them a little bit and say, hey fellas, we got a season going on here. I need a little protection. We need to bow up and play a little bit stronger right now.
Benjamin Hall is the running back for Lopez, who's got a tight end and 3 receivers. Gio to throw on first down, looking here near side, and the catch is made, and that is Tucker again. Madrid Tucker playing for the first time this year. Carolina's got this phase of their program. Some people come to the stadium, they see these guys in the blue sweatsuits. They're just outside the coaching box. And those guys are in the development phase, if you will.
Yep.
It's a little bit like a practice squad at the NFL level. Well, Madrid Tucker's one of those guys that was wearing a sweatsuit probably earlier this year. There's Lopez being sacked by Jordan Robinson on the corner blitz. Well, Madrid Tucker was one of those guys wearing a sweatsuit, Steve, a couple weeks ago. Right there they are.
He's in development, and now he's out of development.
And now he's out of development. They have this thing they do on Sunday nights where the development guys play, and it's called Sunday Night Football. Yeah. Mike Lombardi was talking about it earlier this week. Well, Madrid Tucker's one of those stars from Sunday Night Football. Guess what? He's activated today.
Yeah, no, that's where it is. As the season goes on, guys get better and better, and they earn the right to play.
Davion Gall's in the backfield, and here is Lopez to work. trying to come out of the pocket, and he gets wrapped up and dropped, and that's Kasim Moore from Vanceboro, North Carolina, transferred from Elon. He's in the backfield for his second sack. That's the 4th of the day for Virginia.
Well, you're going to watch, his rush here, but there's enough time in the pocket right now. He just ran. It's like he had one look down the field and said, I'm taking off with the ball. He did not read the field on that play. That's not really the line's fault there. That's the quarterback.
Third 3 and out for Carolina in 4 second-half possessions. We're still tied at 10. Retreating is Thomas. He'll work up the far side again and get to the 25 before Carolina makes a stop. So 11:25 to go. Chandler Morris is coming back out with the Virginia offense. We're tied at 10 in Chapel Hill. Here in Chapel Hill, number 16, Virginia, and North Carolina. South's oldest rivalry deadlocked at 10 as we play on in quarter 4. Morris, not nearly 100%, throws back across his body. That's Edgerrin for 9, almost 10 on first down. House, the linebacker, there to make the play on the Purdue transfer from Fort Lauderdale.
I'm telling you, a healthy Chandler Morris on that play, he runs it himself.
And now here's Trell Harris. Oh boy, that ball caromed off Harris and almost caromed to Greg Smith or Abujade.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I'm going to tell you what, I watched Chandler Morris's throwing motion there. He's hurting right now.
Yeah.
That looks like it was hard. You see his body language at the end.
Yeah.
He's got to work to throw the football right now.
3rd and a yard. You see where Morris is throwing the football on 3rd down today. Tony Elliott.
I just don't know why that play existed to begin with. Put it on the back right now to get the first down. I'm sure they'll do that here, but I should have done it in the play before. Carolina's
been sturdy against the run today. They're going to hand it to Taylor, and Jamari Taylor breaks free, and he'll get to the 40. That's a Virginia first down. Gavin Gibson the stop. Coming in from the Carolina secondary, he's a transfer from East Carolina.
Yeah, I mean they're getting thrown off blocks up front. They've got to really do a better job of accelerating their legs and getting movement. But again, I'm impressed with the Carolina defensive line right now. This is not an easy task for Virginia to run the football here, but they did it that time. They got the yards.
Here's Morris on first down, wants to throw, lining up for the shot, and overthrows the intended receiver, Jaden Thomas. Caleb Cost was trailing the coverage there.
Yeah, good, really good coverage. I mean, really, I think that was a forced throw, in my opinion. That's dangerous right there with the safety on top of that, clamping that route. Got to be careful here.
Had two pieces, had the Trell Harris piece and the Thomas piece, right?
Right, right. Yeah, it was a bad decision.
Virginia's first 5 games averaged 540 yards a game. Their last 2 has been 269. They're just over 200 yards of offense today. 218 for these Cavaliers. There's a toss. Taylor trying to turn the corner, find a crease. And let's see, they'll step that off to the 43, so it's going to be 3rd and about 8 for Virginia. Cavaliers are finding the road a little tough to hoe today, Steve. They are 6 of 15 on 3rd down.
Yeah, they're off schedule all the time right now. And so they're off schedule here on 3rd and long. That's because their first and second down plays have no level of consistency. And, you know, now, you know, it's going to take a big play by Morris and one of his receivers, I would imagine here.
Tar Heels bringing the blitz. Here's the throw to Taylor, trying to ride the Ennis block. Can't get very far. Great run pursuit by Carolina. That's Greg Smith, a Florida transfer, who played just 5 games a year ago for the Gators.
Really,
picking up the tackle.
I mean, just runs right through the block and makes a play right there. Really, really well done. That was quite a defensive play. Forcing into a punt here right now. There is no consistency, no continuity on offense for Virginia right now. It's becoming a defensive struggle here, a defensive battle.
Sparks to punt it away. Will Hardy stands at the 8 of the Tar Heels. Oh, what a high spiral by Sparks. Hardy going to ask for and make the fair catch at the 9. So 10-10 the score. It's a 48-yard punt. Tar Heels have gotten stops. The latest. Look at Smith make this play on Taylor in the open field. Locked up in Chapel Hill. Back after this.
ACC Network College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing.
water tower that's adjacent to the UNC hospital behind the stadium here in Chapel Hill. Bill Belichick, 73 years of age, in his first campaign in Chapel Hill. His team tied with Virginia at 10-all, looking for their first win in the ACC. Carolina's last win over a top 20 team almost 4 years ago, when the Tar Heels beat Wake Forest in a shootout here, 58-55. It's like CFL game, Steve.
Yeah.
Inside, they hand the ball, and going to work was Benjamin Hall. Maybe a yard off the 9. Fifth possession of this second half for Carolina. They've had 3 3-and-outs of their first 4 in the frame. You see the action still to come. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Quint Kesnick tonight at the Hard Rock. I'm as interested to see how number 9 Miami answers the bell, Steve.
Yeah.
After last Friday night.
Yeah, they got to come out strong. They've got to play well and play with confidence.
Carson Beck 4 picks the other night and a loss to Louisville. Cards and BC late night on ACC Network. Here's Lopez, quick throw, and I think that's Clower the catcher. Is that Tucker? That is Tucker. Another grab from Madrid Tucker. What good thing they got him a jersey today.
Well, they hit a nice out cut, got themselves some yardage, put him into 3rd and 4. And be interesting to see now, are they going to start an empty, motion the back in to unwind the defense again? Or will they just stay in empty? Are they throwing it here? These are the questions. They need a first down now. This has been a defensive battle. And someone's got to get some first downs and create an explosive play here.
3rd down for Carolina. McGill in the backfield. They're going to hand it to McGill, and he's got the first down. Jalen McGill rides it out to the 22. Hammond the tackle for Virginia. Carolina with 7.5 to go here in the 4th. Now, Steve, given some of the Tar Heel struggles offensively, is this the drive? If you're Freddie Kitchens, is this the one Bill Belichick has to make the 4-down decision on? Here's McGill again, trying to step from 1 tackle. He's going to get almost 3, maybe 4. Robinson finally pulls him down.
Well, I don't know that you make a crazy 4th down decision, right? The game's tied. So I think, yes, I think maybe you make a short 4th down decision if you have that in front of you.
Right.
But a long one, I think you keep playing. You got to rely on your defense a little bit.
Yep. Here's Lopez, going to hand it again. This is Hall bouncing it outside, and that's another first down. So Carolina is now finding traction in the run game with the combination of McGill and Benjamin Hall.
Benjamin Hall, one of my dudes. Tough, physical runner, plus runner. That's what they need right now.
Played 11 games in 2 years at Ann Arbor for Michigan. He'll get the carry here on first down again, and he'll step across the 40 out to the 42. That's 9 on first down for Hall. Jake Johnson helped with the block.
Yeah, Jake is a really good athlete. I really like Jake. Had him with his brother at A&M and felt like he had a really tall ceiling in terms of as a receiver and developing as a blocker. I think he can be a really fine player. Well, they're in 2nd and short. That's where Carolina wants to be. Hand the ball off.
Lopez going to throw. Backside catch. That's Tucker again, I think. 7th catch of the day for Madrid Tucker. Out to the 48 and a first down. Carnley was there for Virginia defensively.
That's the RPO game, which I love the RPO game, but sometimes, you'll find that ball's thrown more than handed off, and right now you got to get first downs, and that was an easy first down.
7 grabs for 38. Lopez now in the pocket. Reroutes, going to sidearm it here to the near side and Shipp up the ladder to make the catch. What a grab by Jordan Shipp.
He's going to do a great job of elevating here and making this catch. Gio stays alive here, makes a play. Look at that catch. Get both feet in. Nicely done. Guys are stepping up around Gio right now and making plays, running the football, throwing the football. The only thing I would say right now is be careful with the football. Right now, ball security here and keep the drive going. Don't get impatient. Chunks at a time.
Inside 5 to go. Play fake by Lopez. Wants to throw. Cavaliers are going to get him on the ground.
That's what I'm talking about with the RPOs right now. That was an RPO, and he decided he was going to throw it, and then he couldn't last minute throw it. And now it pulls you a little bit off your schedule. So now you're back in this third and medium category again here.
Anthony Britton, the tackle for Virginia.
To your point, Wes, I think here's the situation on third down. If you can get at least half of this, I think Bill Belichick's got a decision to make. I think you're going for it on fourth down if you can get close enough to keep the chains moving. This will be interesting to see what happens on this, but they're in empty right now.
Yeah. Four-man front for the Cavaliers. Snap to Lopez. They bring a fifth, and a flag is thrown. Procedure on Carolina. Somebody left early.
Third down.
True to form.
Well, that's not what Coach Belichick wanted right now.
No.
You went from third and medium to third and long. Changes your whole mindset right now. Now you went from possible two downs to get a first down to now you got a big play to even give you that as a consideration. And now you're probably, let's see if he runs it here or does he run a screen or a draw here. Interesting to see what he does.
Hall's in the backfield with Lopez. They go 2 by 2. Do the Tar Heels on 3rd and 9. They have to get to the Virginia 42 for a first down. Lopez to throw. Pressure coming. Gio looks, pumps, and he will drive it to the 46. It'll be 4th and 4. Tackle was made by Robinson and also Holmes for the Cavaliers. And they're going to punt with McGinnis.
Yeah, I think it's the right call, 4th and 4.
And lean on the defense.
Yeah, I think you lean on the defensive field position here. You try to pin this thing inside the 10, let your defense play because, you've been a little herky-jerky on offense. Your run game's been your most consistent thing, but that's a long way to go on 4th and 4 right there. So I think this is a good call.
10 plays in plus territory. McGinnis held it for a moment. Now just going to kind of hang it down the field. Carolina watches it check up pretty quick. Tar Heels are going to touch it up around the 8-yard line. Wow. 10 all in Chapel Hill. 3:11 to go. Well, we're tied at 10. Don't forget, more ACC Network football coming up. 3:30, we'll send you off to Acrisure Stadium. Chris Cotter, Max Brown standing by for the Wolfpack and Panthers. And then ACC Primetime presented by Servpro tonight. Boy, Derby City will be lit. Number 19, Louisville hosts BC. And you see Chandler Morris. It's been a rough and tumble Saturday for the veteran from Highland Park, Texas. Oh, man.
Man, oh, man. Mama said there'd be days like this. There'd be days like this. He's getting rocked.
Virginia has seen Chandler Morris sacked 5 times. They came in having only allowed 5. And here is Jamari Taylor trying to get something on the ground and maybe gets 3.
Not a lot of movement there.
That ball get knocked out. Maybe late. I think already ruled down. Okay. There's referee Daryl DeBerry.
Yeah.
And let's see. And
oof. Wow. Snapped the ball.
So Taylor's got 60 yards on 17 carries. You see Virginia, the note there, 1 of 5 without a fumble this year. They might have had one there and skated it. Snap to Morris from the pocket. Quick throw behind Harris. Caleb Cost. If he puts his hands up, it might hit him. There's a flag thrown in the backfield. Was there a late hit on Morris here?
Yes. Low. I think there was a low late hit.
Personal foul from the passer.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I saw this out of the corner of my eye. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a penalty. Yes, sir. That's foolish, man. See, I mean, come on. They're playing well on defense, but Carolina, that's bad.
Isaiah Johnson guilty of the penalty. So Virginia first down out at the 26. 2:20 to go. Morris, quick throw. That's Edgerrin. First down, tried to step away, got to the 40, and holding on is Bryson to get him on the ground at the 41.
Yeah, that was a nice throw, and I really like the effort.
Virginia may try and get a snap here if they can hurry before the 2-minute timeout. They're set. They get it pulled. Here's Morris looking to throw and overshoots Ennis. Incomplete. That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout in Chapel Hill. 1:57 to play. Number 16, Virginia. They've had a flair for high drama. They're trying to write another version of it today.
a shot. We got a shot to do something. Not just special for this university, but special in all of college football. This is a damn good football team, right? That's got a whole lot in front of them. We control our own destiny, but we got to take it one day at a time.
That was last Saturday night after they beat Washington State. And now inside of 2 minutes, here's Harrison Whaley trying to keep the drive alive. It's going to be 3rd and long for Virginia. Clock continuing to move under 2 minutes. Cavaliers have all 3 timeouts.
I'll tell you what, now he fired me up. I'm standing here, I got a little juice listening to him. I love that. Now if this offensive line would get a little juice and knock the defensive line back for them, that'd help them.
3rd down and 7. 1:25 and counting, you see on the clock. It is 3rd down here. Morris with 3 to his left. Carolina brings 5. Morris in trouble, and he'll be sacked for a 6th time, and that's Abujade again. And with 1:08 to go in a 10-10 game.
Now that was good defense by Carolina. They showed 5, brought 4.
So Carolina takes one of their 2 remaining timeouts here, Steve.
Yeah, they showed
with 1:08 to go.
Showed 5 and brought 4 and beat the line with a 4-man rush. Got great penetration and sacked a guy that's not easy to sack. So, I mean, that was a play right there now. And, you know, they needed that on defense, and they made it. This is a battle of defense. Battle of defense, and the clock is ticking down.
Well, these 2 teams that have played a lot of football since the series began in 1892. Today, the 130th meeting. And the 50th time they played here at Kenan Stadium.
You know, we haven't seen yet, Wes, as a big special teams play. What an opportunity here. Imagine they get a punt return here and pop it. This place may go crazy.
Javarius Green, freshman from Shelby, waits. Punt from Sparks. This is Green off the 9. Takes off to the far side. Carolina tried to build a wall, got to the 30, now to the 34 with 56 seconds left. Carolina's going to have only 1 timeout remaining in the game. We're tied at 10. Don't forget, a new season of All Access, the ACC Live premieres this Thursday night, 10 o'clock Eastern. Get unprecedented access into the lives of 3 ACC student athletes. Also available on demand on the brand new ESPN app.
Well, that punt return bought them an extra 15, 20 yards.
Yep.
And those yards are critical right now down the home stretch here with 56 seconds left.
25 yards returned by Green. You got Shipp and Tucker to the far side, along with Jake Johnson, the tight end. Tar Heels down to 1 timeout. Damon June is the running back. Paysour here to the near side as Johnson comes in motion. Lopez got to get rid of it. Trying to throw back inside. They got it to Tucker, and he only got a couple of yards with 50 seconds left.
That's a double slip screen right there where they release linemen to both sides, and they read the rush and decide which way they're going to, and didn't get a ton out of it.
Nope. Maybe 3 on the play. 2nd and 7, and the clock rolling. Tar Heels only with the 1 timeout. Lopez on the drop. Now Bales to his left. Going to sidearm throw it here to near side and offline for Shipp. With 26 seconds left and a flag is thrown. Is this a late hit on Virginia or a hold?
Holding. Offense number 58. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's on Austin Blaschke.
Yeah. I wasn't sure because there was a little bit of a high hit on the quarterback right there at the very end.
Yep.
And he got nervous that they were going to get a penalty on that, but it's holding, and that's equally bad right now.
Well,
you got 26 seconds left. It's 2nd in the world here. What you need to be careful about here now is, you want to be aggressive, but in the same breath, what you can't do is get a pick here. I don't want to say you're playing for overtime yet, but be careful with this ball.
And there goes the handoff to June. And Damon June will get back to the 35. There's another flag on the play. Timeout quickly called by Virginia. Kasim Moore the stop.
personal foul, face man, deep number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that helps Carolina with 22 seconds left. 15 yards.
That's a critical penalty right now. You're going from the negative side of the field, and that penalty is going to be walked off here and put him at midfield.
Yeah, face mask on June, the running back, as he was trying to pick up extra yards.
So how many yards do they need for a field goal here, you know? Probably at least.
His longest, he missed earlier in this half from right at 50, right at the end of the first half.
Well, he made it.
51-yarder at Georgia Southern when he was a member of Marshall. His longest this year has been 49 at Charlotte for Reese Verhoff. Lopez wants to throw it, taking the deep shot and looking for Taylor, who cannot hang on, and it is intercepted. Antonio Clary comes up with the interception on a ball from Madrid Tucker.
Wow, that was a pretty good ball. He had his hands on it.
Third career interception of Antonio Clary's career, his first of the season.
Oh, wow, he had that ball. That's an interception. He had that catch. He couldn't squeeze it in his hands. He had it, got knocked out. Good defensive play. But Manuel Carnley knocked it right out of his hands last second. Wow. There's been a lot of these turns of events in this game where it looks like one team has got a chance to put a knockout punch, and in this case, that catch puts them in an opportunity to minimally kick a field goal and win the game.
And now Morris is going to sneak, and we're going to play overtime. And we're going to take a timeout in Chapel Hill. The South's oldest rivalry needs overtime. We've got it for you next. Tied at 10. Virginia and Carolina.
Welcome to Overtime, presented by Cheez-It.
It's crunch time. In the first overtime, each team gets a possession starting at the opponent's 25-yard line. If it goes to a second overtime, teams again start at the 25-yard line, but must attempt a two-point conversion after a touchdown with no extra points allowed. From the third overtime on, Teams alternate 2-point conversion attempts from the 3-yard line until the game is decided.
Carolina won the toss. Virginia will get it first on offense as we go to overtime in the South's oldest rivalry. 10-10 our score. And miscues started the day. Tar Heels, unfortunately, a flashback to last Friday night. Pacer lost it before he hit the pylon. Then going to the half, Burhoff from 50, he pulled that. Lopez, a deflection off Melton. He ended up with the pick. And then a moment ago, Gio Lopez trying to throw the home run ball to Madrid Tucker. And that ball got deflected, and Antonio Clary came up with the pick, and that got us to overtime.
Any one of those plays would have stopped them from being in this situation. But here's where you are. The better defensive outfit should prevail here.
And here on first down, they're going to fake the reverse. Morris going to throw, and that is Ennis dumped over at the 15-yard line. Jaden Patterson loaded up and took the big tight end to the ground near a first down.
Yeah. Now their play selection should be interesting here. You know, they want to stay on schedule. They've really struggled to run the football with consistency. They've had a few runs, but not a lot. Not something you feel like you can hang your hat on right now.
Jamari Taylor in the pistol with Chandler Morris. Straight ahead, they're going to run with Taylor. He's got the first down.
Well, they had they get the first down, and obviously, you know, they're playing for a touchdown, and that's their mindset here. They've got to be aggressive. That's who they are. But you got to be careful with the ball, obviously, in overtime, or it'll end quick on you. So make good decisions and have a good mix of run and throw here.
Here's Morris. 1st and 10 now. Looking for the end zone, throws, and Edgerrin is there. Did he hold on? No, incomplete. He was battling Patterson on the play. Also Coleman Bryson there in coverage for Carolina.
There's a lot of contact on that play. I don't know, man. He's pile driving him before he even has a chance to catch the ball. I mean, that looked like interference to me. I'd like to see, if they're going to throw it, I'd like to see him move the pocket here a little bit for Chandler. This defense has pushed the pocket inside vertically. It's hard to stand in there.
Morris on 2nd and 10. They're going to hand it to Taylor. And Jamari Taylor will get to the 10. Knocked back. Isaiah Johnson there. So now 3rd down and roughly 6.
I'm sure they'll be throwing the ball here trying to convert this first down.
And field goals are hard to live with in overtime, aren't they, Steve?
Oh, yeah. You want to get touchdowns, and that's why you want to play defense first, so you know what you're up against.
Tight end to the right, 3 receivers to the top. Morris with the play clock down to 3. Resets Taylor. Takes the snap. Coming to his left goes Morris. Turning the corner, and he dives for what I think is 1st and goal, and it is at the 3. What a gutty play by a guy who's nowhere near 100%. The Cavalier quarterback, Chandler Morris.
You know, Wes, that really was a gutty play, and I've been looking for that. I know he's hurt. I got it, and I give him a lot of credit. But you got to go get it. You know, you're the dude on this offense. You're the guy. You're the competitor.
Yep.
This is go time. And he made that go time. He did it. There was no doubt he was going to lower his shoulder and go get a first down. And that's not over yet. I think you might need to see a little more of him here to punch one in.
And Tony Elliott, is he thinking about burning a timeout here? I think he is and will. So it's 1st and goal at the 3 for Virginia. In a 10-10 game, we've had a scoreless second half. And Virginia is once again right here in the cardiac zone. They've been here since beating Florida State in double overtime on a Friday night. Then the very next week they go to Louisville Overtime again. They win 30-27, and then last Saturday night should have been to overtime, and they won on a safety when Robinson stopped the Cougars in the end zone. Steve and Dana, here we are again. And it's funny, Dana, Tony Elliott just kind of very cool and calm. Doesn't necessarily want these games to be like this, but never too high, never too low, it feels like, Dana.
Neither is his quarterback, Chandler Morris, who actually called and signaled for that timeout, Wes. But Tony Elliott was really honest with us after that win last weekend. We haven't won anything. We haven't even reached our goals, so the ceiling is really high for these Cavaliers.
Well, they may look at this again. He might be a little short here on this play, you know, and they could create a 4th and short play.
The previous play in the game for first down is viewed.
So they're going to go back and have a look at the Chandler Morris run. Remember, he's got to get to the 3. And I don't know if there's enough there to reset the football short or not, at least from the angle we just saw.
Yeah, and I don't know if this angle here is a better angle. And it looks as though he could be a little bit short here.
Right. Yeah.
That would be a heartbreaker if they call a timeout, and that's what spilled them into this situation right now to be reviewed.
Yeah,
but
Coleman Bryson was the guy that collided with Morris.
Yeah.
Feels like he's going to be measured short here when all is done.
It's close. It's where where's the ball? Looks like his knee hit short, and the ball looks like it hit short. I don't know. That looks like it could be overturned. I mean, how about that decision, though, huh? If it's short, he's got to say, do I take 3 or do I go for it?
We do not have the communication access with the game ops center.
After further review, the ruling on the field on first down is upheld.
Oh, there you go. Okay, well done.
Okay. Well, the first major decision is avoided because that would have been a tough decision now. All right. They probably got better angles than we have.
More of them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about.
So, 1st and goal, and let's call it the 3, right? Overtime in Chapel Hill. Virginia trying to stay in the race at the top of the ACC.
I really think quarterback runs are big for this guy down here. You know, they're a shotgun team, so you don't want to get plus by numbers on defense. But
Morris to Taylor, and Jamari Taylor will be held up shy of the goal. It'll be 2nd and goal. Leroy Jackson in the mix. Redshirt freshman from Lee County, Georgia.
Well, he got half of it, but he's running into a stone wall here again. I wonder if
they ran that little speed option in the first half.
Speed option or some sort of quarterback run where the back is blocking for him too to equate the numbers. I'm be surprised if we don't see that here. But the back is forward now. The tailback is forward towards the line of scrimmage, so it doesn't look like he's getting it. Oh, they snapped it to him.
Snap to Taylor, and he's in for the touchdown. Very similar to the direct snap they ran at Louisville, Steve, 2 weeks ago in overtime. And Jamari Taylor in the end zone.
I like it a lot. You know, they ran a counter with him, but I saw his alignment was different. I could see it from up here. I just didn't know if it meant throw. I didn't know it was going to be a direct snap to him. But that was a good bit of deception and really, I think, a great call in that critical situation. Credit to the Wahoo-Wahs here.
Virginia scoring for the first time since 6:36 to go in the first half to take a 16-10 lead, and now Betteridge to make it 17-10. And now North Carolina comes up to the plate, and the Tar Heels have to match. And Bill Belichick's last overtime win, the 2018 AFC Championship game when they beat Kansas City 37-31.
Now that's a long time ago, but I tell you, he knows what he needs to do right now, right? I mean, that's the benefit of playing defense. Where it's okay, it's clear now. We don't have a lot of stressful decisions in terms of, you know, we got to score a touchdown. And then the next stressful decision would be if you do score a touchdown, by chance, do you say, go for two and win it?
That's the way I'm thinking that Carolina may play this, Steve.
Depends on how good they feel about the two-point play they have, whatever they've been working on.
Right. Benjamin Hall is the running back with Gio Lopez. Carolina looking for their first ACC win. Virginia looking for their fourth. Tony Elliott has won 3 of his 4 one-score games this year. He's 9-10 in one-score games as the Cavalier coach and trying to find a 10th here today. They're going to hand the Hall on first down. Tries to cut back to the middle of the field. He'll get 6 to the 19, maybe 7 to the 18 is K-Mac. The defensive end peels back for the tackle.
I like my dude on that play. My dude got 6 yards, 6 hard yards. It's good. Good start here.
Full 4 for Carolina. For the first down. Lopez for Hall. He's got the first down. To the 12. Cam Robinson the tackle. 2 sturdy runs by Carolina. Tar Heels have run it well today, almost 150 yards on the ground. Lopez for Hall. Trying to break free, got hit at the 11 and dropped. Devin Neal, the Cavaliers' leading tackler.
Good strong run here on the counter play, and he put his foot in the ground, but that was a great tackle. Really a sure tackle by Devin Neal. Very well done, because, you know, if he didn't make a strong tackle, he might have come out of that thing. There was a lot of space out there.
So second down and 9. The ball is at the 11. We're in overtime in Chapel Hill. 130th meeting between Carolina and Virginia. Lopez wants to throw. Bales to his right. At the 10 and hammered at the 9. It'll be third down. Prevard, the safety, or nickel if you will. The spur makes the hit. Boy, another big collision in this game. So it is now third down and 7, Steve.
Third down to 7 now. You know you got 2 downs, because I mean there's no question what needs to happen here. So you got to say to yourself, okay, let's at least get half of this thing. At a minimum, we got to get half of that, and that's on Gio right now to make good decisions here out of empty.
Goss is coming to game. Lopez, the throw to the far side. This is Goss at the 5. Touchdown, Carolina. And Carolina's going for 2.
That was a great call because they outnumbered Virginia. Virginia brought a pressure, and they were a man down. There was 3-on-2 out there. Really well done. They're going for 2.
Carolina Go for Dos is brought to you by Dos Equis. Hall has come into the ball game at the running back spot. Tar Heels are 1 for 2 on 2-point plays this year.
It's kind of what I thought they'd do. We both did, Wes. We thought this would very likely happen. I give Bill Belichick a lot of credit. This is the right call. Let's go.
Ship and Paysour go to the far side. Jake Johnson and Tucker here to the near side. Hall is the running back. That's Ship in motion. Snap. Lopez to his left. Throws. It's caught. And Hall did not get in, and Virginia wins.
Game is not over.
Darryl DeBerry, the referee, telling you the game is not over. Oh my.
The ball carrier, the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
So the ball did not cross the plane, at least on the early look.
Or it didn't hit the pylon until after he was down. You talk about game of inches. Well, it's coming down to a 2-point play in overtime, and inches. Look at that, inches.
They'll go to review on this. at the Game Operations Center and see what they have. But a first look, and we're showing you everything that our director Drew Shabby and our producer Ben Ward have at our disposal.
You would say, based off of that replay, he's short.
Right.
And what an effort. What an effort by both teams. What an effort.
So the teams have stayed at their respective benches at the request of referee DeBerry. Virginia fans have seen the replay that some of you have seen on our screen here. They think the game is over. And Hall was stopped.
Well, it sure looks that way. And I'll tell you, that would be heartbreaking for North Carolina because they really played their hearts out here today. But let's see what happens here. You know, we've been fooled before on these calls, so it ain't over.
After further review, the ruling on the field of the runner being short at the goal line is upheld. That is the ball game.
Virginia is now 3-0 in overtime. And for the fourth straight ball game, Steve, Tony Elliott's team goes all the way to the wire and then some to find the win.
Cardiac kids, huh? They're going, and that's what happens sometimes on a championship run. It comes down to these kind of games.
7-1 on the year, 4-0 in the ACC is Virginia. They're headed to California. North Carolina's at Syracuse next Friday night. They're now 2-5 and winless in 3 ACC games and 2 straight heartbreakers for Belichick's Heels. Great to be with Steve Addazio, Dana Boyle. Thanks to Ben Ward, our producer, Drew Shabby, our director. We'll see you next Saturday at Clemson. Now off to Pitt we go, the Panthers and Wolfpack.
What does this win say, to your point, about what you're building at Virginia?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 years in the making.